Okay. So, there we are. The Color Coalition, shortly after freeing the city of Westron from a horde of undead and the threat of Meraxus Vesh and his dark mistress, have been assisting in the reconstruction efforts for Westron and trying to restore the city to some semblance of order and normalcy. And their efforts are greatly accepted. And the reconstruction's been going pretty well, actually. 3 weeks into this at this point, and as kind of a gesture of thanks for all the help, some kind souls took the time to actually fix up the manor and restore it to its former glory. And in fact, the manor was one of the first places in the city completely restored. Some of the government buildings themselves, which kind of irked the remnants of the government, but at the same time, you guys saved the city.
Okay,
so
the pantry was off limits. So...
It was off limits. In fact, of the manor, you guys noticed this when investigating it. Of the manor that was actually damaged, the pantry was the one part that wasn't. It was mainly to the facade and the grounds themselves and the garden, which Laud has been working diligently to try and restore the garden a little bit before
my garden,
my
flowers, my plants.
Exactly, and you've done quite a bit of work getting it back tip-top order before your trip back to the Isles, but still need a little bit of time to recover. This was quite the ordeal that it went through.
Okay.
But now
what about
it's
their deep gnome?
You're gonna have to wait. You haven't heard word from him yet. You'll have to find out on the next session. Third week of this reconstruction process, and you guys have just finished eating some breakfast this morning. You haven't figured out what you're doing for the day yet, when suddenly...
I think there's someone at the door.
Ari will get up and go get the door.
Well, I am in the garden. I don't see them outside.
Garden, if you are in the garden. Most of the front area was pretty well, it was easy to get done. It was the back area that you would spend a lot of time cultivating. I'm going to open the front door, and you are greeted with... looks like a human, about your size, actually. Maybe a little over 10, somewhere in there. A thick mop of black hair on his head. Threadbare clothing, no shoes. You've kind of recognized kids like this. They usually get sent as errand runners or messengers throughout the city. And he just kind of looks at you. Been sent to send you word. The city needs your help.
Oh?
Was something found down in the Underwalk. Men have gone missing.
Oh, that fucking place again.
Found a tunnel,
Sent you, little one.
and we sent people down there, and they never came back.
Okay.
So
Alright.
let's get the breakfast
Come look
first.
into it.
You're included.
Okay, after breakfast, we will go check that.
Yeah, of course, Forno invites the kid breakfast.
He doesn't accept. I
Well,
have more
it's
messages. I have more messages
seen.
to deliver, my lord.
Come on,
Thanks
it's just
for-
a little bread and maybe some, well, what do you have? Oh, yeah, milk. Do we have milk?
He runs off.
Thanks for the message.
Okay. Bread for me, then.
He's working.
Job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should always make time for eating while you're working. Otherwise, you won't have the energy to work.
If he's running, he can choke on bread, you know. So no.
That's true.
That's a fair point.
Alright, so finish this up, and then we'll go. Ari starts packing her stuff.
Okay. It takes a little bit because you guys are kind of in construction mode, so in fact your armor and your weapons and everything haven't really been getting a lot of use lately. So, putting on the pieces of plate armor and leather and staffs and hammers and shields ready and daggers. You're kind of looking forward to this a little bit.
Tiny arming yourself up montage.
Basically. Just all of the montages.
Okay, so now I'm gonna replace the great sword that I have for cleaning with the other one that you gave me. which is a lot better. Okay, trusty war hammer on one side, there's the shield over my shoulder. Ready to go.
I'm just like, hey, Dothrak, want to go on an adventure?
Okay.
A while. All right, come on.
I start to harvest my good berries.
So you're casting Goodberry?
Yes.
All right. So you have some good berries now.
Yay. The ones that the name, how the dragon's name is?
Dothrak?
Dothrak. The ones that the third like.
He likes them. Yeah. If you feed any to him, he's happy with it. But
Yeah, we're buddies.
all right. So you guys are heading out to the Underwalk then?
So,
Yeah.
The kid did give you kind of a general directions where to go in the Underwalk, since it's kind of a sprawling area underneath the city. Far from where the manor is, and the nearest entrance into the Underwalk. Relatively close, actually. It only takes you about an hour to get there. Through navigating through the city streets and the reconstruction efforts, and having to take a couple side streets to avoid getting in the middle of any kind of construction. And you guys are kind of seeing the city is doing pretty well as far as getting itself back up to snuff. Buildings are being, any damaged facades and things like that are being quickly replaced. The cleanup effort didn't take that long. Thankfully, everyone was really excited about wanting to get corpses out of their city. So that went really quickly. Of getting
what
everything.
happened to my cantrips?
What?
What happened to my cantrips? Seeing that in
You should-
DMD Beyond, I only have 2. I used to have 4.
I don't know. Do you still have him in roll 20?
Yeah, I'm in roll 20.
I mean-
like anything else except from the original players have.
Still got him in roll 20 for now. Well, that's all that matters right now. We can work on the Beyond thing later. Just need it for rolling and whatnot.
Beyond drop the
But
ball.
pretty soon I'm going to be replacing it. So
Yeah.
anyway, so you guys navigate down into the Underwalk. Once again, kind of getting a feel for this underground with its various torches, and occasionally, now that you're seeing it, people are a little more tense about the dark and anything that might be hidden under here. So someone has been going around and placing enchanted rocks into the ceiling that give off a certain amount of not quite daylight level light, but enough light that they're kind of like street lamps, just down the middle of the walkway areas. You do eventually find the area that this kid had told you about. It's kind of cordoned off by some wooden barricades, and it looks like there's 2 of the Western Guard standing guard by this. What you're seeing itself, or behind them, though, is a pretty big, intricately carved granite gateway. It's about 10 feet wide by 20 feet tall, so it's a pretty big and intentional gateway. And compared to the rest of the rock around it, it looks pretty nice. I mean, it's carved granite, so of course it's going to have a certain high-level quality to it, but just basic chiseled this out of the rock and left it kind of deal. As you guys begin to approach, though, the 2 guards do salute the both of you, or the group.
I just do a quick salute back with 2 fingers. Keep walking.
Are these one of the soldiers that helped us save Western that I trained?
Those were all. They are more in the efforts of reconstruction at this point and going back to Amon, because that was the army that was drawn from the Amon area. This is the remnants of the Western Guard that were kind of running, from what you were told later, and would have found out in a different session. they were running a bit of a guerrilla operation in the Underwalk ward itself, having evacuated a lot of the citizens down into there, and just basically trying to harass the undead forces and keep them from amassing any kind of major horde and slaughtering everyone wholesale. And the remnants of the Slayer's Take were actually pretty successful in helping them do that. So, a little reverent towards you guys for that as well, for being a member or members of that. But different group of soldiers. So,
Good man. Good man.
but they both just kind of look at you. You'll hear about the missing soldiers.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Perfect. No one has been sent into the tunnel since then. We sent in 2 different scout teams about 3 days apart, and neither of them have returned. We're beginning to fear the worst. The last scouts left 2 days ago.
So you didn't hear any reports, or did you get any reports before they disappeared? Just see, maybe there was like common.
No, we sent them down into the tunnels, and that was the last we heard of them. When the first group didn't come back, we sent a second group in to go look for them, and they didn't return either.
Okay. Well, looks like thirst's gonna have to be the charm.
Best of luck to you. To the side a little bit.
Right. Okay, so we have a tracker. Then like kind of poke Ari on the side.
Wait, what'd
I
you
don't
say? I
think
didn't really hear you.
There you go.
We have a tracker, so thank the old hammer
Oh.
for that.
Wink,
Wink,
yeah.
wink.
Yeah. I mean, you can be direct with me here, for it's okay. She'll just start tracking.
All right,
She can.
go ahead and roll a survival check. Team. Okay. I mean, there are tracks leading into the tunnel, so you're not exactly at this point following a single set of tracks. This was 2 different groups of about 4 men each, so you're basically tracking squads of soldiers into this. As the 4 of you begin to walk through the gateway, I'm going to go ahead and ask. I'm trying to think here. Ari. Actually have a high enough wisdom for this. Basically going to be everyone, but no. Okay, no, that's not. And go ahead and have Laud and Ari roll perception checks.
Okay. Perception. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. Laud, you do not manage to see it, but Ari, as you're crossing through the threshold, you kind of look over and just getting another glance at this gateway as you're walking through. Something catches your eye on it. It's a bit of raised stone on the interior of the gateway. And being that this is a pretty intricately carved, you kind of walk over to it real quick and just scrub off a little bit of dirt, and then keep scrubbing.
Mm-hmm.
You end up wiping off a whole chunk of this section of the gateway and revealing a bit of artwork, in fact. What you're seeing are some engravings into this, and doing a quick check on the other side as well, wiping away the dirt, you're able to see that it's the same engraving on both sides. What you're seeing is some kind of massive horned humanoid figure that seems to be fighting smaller humanoids, sweeping them away with waves of fire.
The hell, guys? Are you seeing this?
Well, several smaller, almost lizard-like entities or humanoids are being kept behind the horned individual. Forno, you don't recognize any.
I have no idea.
No idea what any of this means.
Can I roll something like history or something like that?
Are you proficient in history?
No.
Ari is. Can Ari roll it?
You can roll it, Ari. Lod, I'll say go ahead and roll it at disadvantage.
Oh, right. You're a bard also. I forgot.
You are correct.
Well, to be honest.
Okay. Neither of you are able to figure out what you...
12.
Lod, you have no idea what any of this is. It's the carvings are really old. You're able to tell that much.
Huh.
Despite the fact that this gateway is pretty intricately carved and it's very good craftsmanship, Forno, you are able to appreciate that much at least. You're not really able to make out what these creatures are supposed to be. Given that they're carvings, they're not exactly like perfect depictions or pictograms or anything of supposed to be. They're just almost like caveman paintings carved into stone. Ari, you're not able to make out much more than that. The bigger figure itself, it's either. I mean, there's a number of like horned creatures throughout history and lore that you're familiar with. I mean, as common as a tiefling, all the way up to massive demons and things like that.
Anything close to the guy that we met in Puddlefoot?
This is not similar to that one. This is more humanoid in nature, in stature at least.
Can I recognize the lizard-like creatures?
I'm not going to have you roll a history check because these are more humanoid than lizard. You are not. You're able to. You know that there are different kinds of lizard-like humanoids. You're not able to tell from the carving what kind.
Ah, okay.
Huh. Just keep an eye out, guys. I don't know what this is.
That's true. All I know is that
Can I
they made
suggest
the shit out of
something?
this.
Yeah, what's up?
You have a paper and feather and ink or something like that?
I mean, I have some parchment, and I'm sure someone here has sharp.
Hold on a second. Amor, ¿cómo se dice carboncillo?
Oh, charcoal.
Yeah.
Can we try to make a copy of this in paper?
Oh.
You
Like,
can.
it's
Who's
carving.
going to do it? Yeah, who's going to do the etching?
I think that the professor, the paper and stuff, because she sings and stuff, is our
Go for it.
bard.
Or the rogue. Rogues are good at forging stuff.
Less forgery and more just trying to get an accurate etching. So you're not sure what this role is going to be. You don't know which class is going to do it well. I need someone to take it, though.
I mean, I can try it.
Yeah.
Go, Ari. We believe in you.
All right.
Ari, go ahead and roll just a straight dex check.
Okay.
You get a pretty good etching of it.
Yay.
About as good an etching as you're going to get from whatever, this kind of carving. Again, it's not like an intricately the one where you can make out what it is still, but you have an etching of it. So
Yeah, we can take it to like or more history inclined.
Archaeology.
Yeah, maybe after we figure whatever the fuck's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, she'll roll it up and put it in her bag of holding.
okay,
Thank you,
easily
Ari.
stored.
Thank you, lad, for the idea.
Yeah, good idea.
Yay.
Then Ari keeps leading the pack, I suppose.
Okay.
Unless, hey, Felon, do you want to like scout ahead or something? I don't know what it is you do.
I kill things.
I mean, do you scout,
I
or
mean, I can check for traps if you need me to.
that would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be swell. Maybe that's what the scouts didn't see, that it wasn't the enemy per se, it was just a trap.
Well, I can try and find them, but I can make no promises.
So you're gonna
Works.
go ahead. You're gonna scout ahead and check for traps.
Sure.
Go ahead and roll 2 separate investigation checks. Okay. So, the first about 100, 150 feet go pretty well. The tunnel itself I can't talk right now. Sorry.
Whoops.
Slopes downward. Not too steep, but not too level either. Just enough that you're aware you're going downwards into the earth. It's about that 150, 200 foot mark that you actually end up slipping a little bit, Felon, and falling rather quickly into a much steeper slope down about 15, 20 feet. Pulls out again, almost like a very steep slide.
Well,
Sudden.
do we see him? Is he too far away for us to see him?
One with dark vision would see him,
Okay.
which I
Um,
think is just one of you.
No?
Oh shit.
Oh no, you. That's right. Forno has dark vision right now because of
Mhm.
reasons. I don't think Laud has dark vision though.
I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
assuming
a
one
good
of you
one.
would be carrying a torch or throwing light or something.
I guess I don't, but let me check.
I don't think Ganassi have. But I'm sure one of you would be throwing light or carrying a torch or something like that, or at least guiding her. So whoever, I'm assuming it would be Ari second in this marching order.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do see Felon as he's kind of just checking the walls for traps and everything, and then suddenly, whoop! You hear a scraping sound as he slides down. I don't know if Felon is the kind that would scream at such a sudden drop, but
I'd probably get started. I'd probably let out a little yelp and then grab my daggers and try and stab them into the ground and try and catch myself from sliding much further.
by the time you grab your daggers and slam them into the ground, you look around. You have stopped. Old part of the slope again instead of this. It looks like this drop was just quick enough that you opportunity there, but you're stopped and your daggers are in the ground.
Oh, okay. I gotta undo my rope. See more than 30 feet away in that slope?
It's 15 feet. This tunnel, it's just a straight shot downwards with a bit of a slope into it.
There you go. Grab the rope.
I'll grab the rope.
Okay. And what are you doing? Climbing back up?
Yeah.
You climb back up, and you have nowhere to go but down.
Okay, so anyway, we were supposed to go down, but
I guess we just gotta keep going down. Just
Yeah, for
clumsy out of
reference,
my ass.
this is what the tunnel looks like. You know, it's going sloping downward, and it's just a sudden like that, and it keeps going. Felon, you're able to see that much. The tunnel does continue straight ahead. It looks like there was just a slope down like that.
Okay.
Still the way forward.
Well, then I just make my way
Oh.
down it.
Slower this time, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Using your daggers, you kind of much less startled this time, having already fallen once.
I
But-
guess we're following him.
Well, we got nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
guess so.
Alright. All right. Using a little bit of rope, and those of you who are inclined to have fun riding it down like a slide, you make your way down this little part of the tunnel. Continuing on, Felon, you start going ahead again, checking for traps. You do not see any traps. 100, 150 feet off. You notice two things. One, it's starting to get a little warm as you're going deeper into the earth. Just not like uncomfortably warm or anything like that, but warmer like you're above ground, which is a bit of a weird sensation being this, knowing how deep you are underground now. The second thing you notice is that while the tunnel continues straight ahead of you, continuing downward to the tunnel, shoots off to the right and slopes upwards just a little bit, just enough that you can see some kind of soft orange glow about 100 feet through that part of the tunnel.
Like natural light or like torch light?
It's distance. It's just a soft orange glow.
Hmm. I think we should be careful to get close to it.
Yeah. I feel like we should go towards it though.
Are there spiders or something like that?
You haven't seen any.
Can I try to roll? That is with perception, right?
Are you trying to sense spiders or look for any?
Yeah, some sort of animal that I
Go- go-
can
Go ahead and
impact with.
go ahead and roll for perception. Yeah, there's nothing down here.
No.
Nothing but rock.
Oh. Rocks are cool.
Out of character, rocks are not that cool in my experience, but that's just.
Hey, you
That's
tell
just
that
the
to a
Wednesday game.
geologist, man.
They're called
They will
minerals.
disagree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, I had a
I'm
geology
referring-
teacher that was all about it.
I'm referring to my Wednesday game where one of our characters was killed by a rock animal, and the same character was also crushed by a rock boulder. So
That's true. That was pretty funny.
I mean, damn. I mean,
Okay, back. What did I miss?
There's
Oh,
a
nothing.
glow.
That the rocks are cool, but I cannot speak with them.
Oh. Ropes?
There's also a soft
Rocks.
orange glow coming
Oh, rocks,
from. What direction did you say?
if you're looking down the tunnel, like where you guys have been heading already, this is kind of an offshoot to the right a little bit,
Alright.
sloping upwards and off. 100 feet away that you see, in that part of the tunnel, you see a soft orange glow for now.
is that the only way to go, or?
They're still straight ahead of you, the tunnel heading downwards that you've been following, and then there's this offshoot to the tunnel.
Let's go ahead and point to the other people of the party, like, it's like fire over there.
No, no, simplemente pues quería hablar porque la vez pasada estaba jugando Dungeons and Dragons y me acuerdo que tú eras.
It's over there, indicating that it's probably fire. And
Vaya.
what are you guys doing?
All right. I mean, if no one says anything, Ari's gonna start walking towards that direction, but quietly and slowly.
Oh yeah, I'd start
Sure.
walking that way stealthily.
Both of you go ahead and make stealth checks. Dustin, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Are you fucking serious, roll?
Okay.
The
Well,
one
we're
thing I'm
obviously the
fucking good at.
Hey, Roll20 has to be nice to the new guy. Don't blame him.
Oh, it wasn't, apparently. So,
We are awful.
What the
But my
heck?
stealth is still better than his perception.
your
Wow.
stealth, yeah, well, still a natural 1. Keep
Yeah, I
that in
know.
mind.
You roll
So-
20.
As you're sitting about your campfire, whatever it is that you are doing, you hear from down the tunnelway from your camp very, very loud sneezing. As Felon, you started following behind Ari, making your way up there. It was just something like the dust from her armor not being used this entire time, or the dust here in the cave, but something got in your nose, and oh man, you are sneezing up a storm.
Like me when I start to bother my cat.
Yeah, but in Orcish.
Yeah, sneezing in Orcish.
Ari's just like, Ari's like, fella.
Isn't
Ah!
Can't help it. It's not me.
Oh my
It's
God.
20.
It's horrible.
Do you mean to cast lesser restoration on you so you can get better of that?
It's all that dust in your damn armor.
But as you continue to approach the firelight after getting over this bout of
It's
sneezing,
polished.
what you see at the end of this little tunnel is a circular cavern, but circular dome cavern area with a bunch of white, almost like chalk-like carvings into the walls of the cavern itself. Scattered around the ground, there is a central little fire pit where there is a fire going at the moment. A bedroll off to one corner, and several books kind of scattered around the area in various piles, some of them open, some of them not, some with bookmarks, some with folded pages. And campfire who looks very, very old. Dustin, if you'd like to describe what your character looks like.
80-year-old. Doesn't look like he's wearing very nice clothes. Pretty skinny.
Human?
Austin, what is the color of your skin?
Got a reddish skin, graying hair,
Eye color?
white hair, blue eyes. Pretty
Orange
short.
tail.
Got some curved
You gotta-
horns coming out
Oh, yeah.
and a little tail.
I think we have found the culprit of the carving. Yes.
Are you with us? Or did you stay back? Or no?
Oh, right. I have to walk in. Hey, my.
I
classic
go
self
behind the
fashion.
big guy.
Sitting at your campfire, you look up and
Jesus.
well, for the record, Forno, in heavy plate, disadvantage.
Remember that my plate has an enchantment.
Did you get that enchantment? I don't remember that one.
Willard gave it to me, so that it wasn't so noisy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't get
Okay.
advantage, but I don't get disadvantage.
That's right. It cancels out. Okay. But what you're greeted with as they walk up to your campfire are a small gnomish female, accompanied by what appears to be some kind of silver dragonling, following close behind her. A green-skinned half-orc who appears to be wiping his nose after a just violent bout of sneezing. A massive gray-skinned individual wearing what appears to be some kind of smoking plate armor and carrying a great sword and a shield on his back. And a blue-skinned female to the camp as well in leather armor carrying a quarterstaff.
Who goes there?
Oh, shit. Hi. Mari. She just kind of looks around at everybody else like,
What are you doing down here?
Yeah, I don't trust this guy yet.
Yeah, I ain't telling him shit. What are you doing down here?
I'm very suspicious, but I let them know that this is my home.
Really? Here?
okay. You see any people down here?
Or
I
heard?
I
Well,
haven't
I mean,
seen anything, but I've heard a lot.
he didn't hear Fallon sneezing, so I guess that talks for this guy's perception skills.
I think anybody could have heard it.
Yeah, he definitely heard someone
Including
sneezing.
the deaf guy down the block.
I think that the other town hear him.
My
Well,
name's
we're looking for a band of scouts. Well, two bands of scouts. From the I always say white run, western.
What?
From the town of Western.
Are we playing a Skyrim campaign setting now?
No, it's just that I always call it white run. Haven't you noticed?
I think I had heard some commotion a little while ago, coming back from where you guys came from.
What did you say your name was?
Silence.
I kill you.
Okay. Just gotta
Your
make
name is
like
silence, or there was silence?
I don't know.
That is my name.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Cool.
Calls their kid silence. I mean, maybe they told you that because you talked too much when you were too little. You confused it and you thought that was actually your name.
It's the name I chose for myself.
Strong name.
Am I looking at him?
Yeah, you're looking at him. I mean,
Can I
unless
know
you're
what race is him or something like that?
pretty obvious with the horns, the tail, and the skin color. He's a tiefling.
Okay.
Well, okay, so you heard some commotion. Any along here by yourself? Do you know? Ari, please show him the thingy that we did back there. Maybe he knows. He reads books, and they point at the books.
Oh, I guess so. She pulls it out and she's like, "You- "Have you, do you know anything about this?"
Silence. Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
Um,
Something seems familiar about the lizard things on there. Everything else doesn't. It doesn't really like lodge in your memory, but the lizard-looking little entities behind this big horned individual fighting off the humanoids, familiar, but you're not entirely sure what they are.
You live here, so you must know these things, right?
I don't get out much.
Yeah. For a tiefling, you're pretty pale.
Or no.
What?
That is not nice to say for no.
Oh, just say that.
Maybe he's this pale because it's his nature,
Is it?
or it's his family genetics. Well, I don't know if genetics exist.
It's too
Mendel will
bad.
kill me. Well, maybe it's how his family is.
Yeah, never know.
I just
But,
think back of Mariala.
I mean,
What?
the skin color isn't quite the same as Miriala's. Miriala and Miraxis, by extension, were pretty vibrant looking red. Forno's blunt assertion here is not exactly inaccurate. He is a bit paler. He's still a red tiefling, but a bit paler than the red tieflings you've met in the past.
So, how many tieflings can you know, like, in around Crackhammer, and then with the short months that I spent with the CC?
All right. So you heard stuff near where we came?
Yeah, it was back in the direction that you came from.
And then nothing?
Nothing. I was a little busy.
Is it doing what? Reading?
I was doing my studying.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're looking for missing people.
Yeah.
So
Probably gonna get some money out of it. Money?
Or just kind of like looks at Forno like the fuck.
Dude. I mean, this guy knows the place. He lives here.
I do know the caves pretty well. I could help you if you wanted.
Oh, hell yeah, we want it.
I mean, if you're up for it, you seem pretty cozy.
He does, but I mean, come on. This is the most fun that this guy must have in ages.
I'm
Right?
just being respectful.
Well, I'm being respectful too. I just want him to. No.
I do need to fetch some resources further down.
See? Resources.
All right, that'll work.
You look trustworthy. Come with us.
All right, so you're going with him,
I'll
Silence?
I'll follow along quietly. Still skeptical.
Typically, you definitely follow along, just watching the dynamic between this group, kind of keeping your distance a little bit of the silver dragonling.
Oh, this is Dothraki says hi.
He kind of growls and makes this weird like growling noise at you, but not a growl per se. You don't really understand what he's saying though.
He says hello. Actually, you know hello in common. Say hello.
Hello in common.
There you go.
Sonic.
Say hello in common. Like not in draconic to me, but just say hello to this.
Hello in common. He's
go.
still kind of making this growling noise and like clicking at you. Still saying it in draconic.
Close enough. He says hello in common. She just keeps walking.
All right. So what's the marching order here?
Well, I'd probably let Silence go in front of Ari, probably, since he knows the caves. But she'd stay close behind.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay right behind Silence. Just in case he tries and stab Ari.
I'll lead the way since I know my way around here.
You start walking down the tunnels, Silence, leading them as you go, and you come to this of tunnels. There's two offshoots of tunnels, one to the left, one to the right. Which one do you take?
They probably went down to the right.
Yeah. Seems like the only path. By the way, what is down there?
Some more tunnels.
Shocker.
Yeah. Surprising.
I don't think you DM rolled that very well.
Oh shoot. What is the command for DM?
It's on the top of your sheet.
Oh.
Anyway, so you keep leading them downwards through here. You're met with another set of tunnels to choose from, either straight ahead or to the right. Which one do you choose?
I think that we keep going straight.
Okay.
All right.
It's been a while since I've gone out this way, but this is probably the way they're going.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Continue walking straight. About 15, 20 feet on, the tunnel begins to gently curve to the right. At this point, it's kind of level now. It's no longer going downwards. But you continue on this just long, elegant curve. Another 50, 60 feet, eventually coming to what appears to be a T-junction now. So you can either choose left or right.
I think it's to the right.
Think.
It's been a little while since I've been down this way.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what lurks in this place. You know which ways are safer and which ways are dangerous. This time, we're looking for dangerous.
I think we go to the right.
Okay.
1 second. Okay, so you take them along into the right tunnel again, which it heads forward another 15, 20 feet, and then gently begins again another 50, 60 feet or so, and you're met with another T-junction.
Remember, dangerous, not safe.
I think we want to go to the left.
All right.
You guys begin heading to the left. Ari, go ahead and roll a survival check for me real quick.
Okay.
23. You're starting to notice it. You kind of noticed it on that last curve. He got you stuck in a loop. The exact same way you went the first time. Back to the original fork in the road.
Hey, you're leading us in circles?
Is he now? And just my hand just naturally starts sliding towards my
So-
door hammer.
I mean, if you
My
don't know
right
where you're
hand never
going,
left my dagger.
if you don't know where you're going, just tell us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can take lead.
Trying to remember how I go up to the wall and start listening to it.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check. Check, not save. So just on the far left of your sheet, where your abilities are. Here we go. Okay, you listen to the rock. Listening. I think you know where you're going.
I thank the rock and we continue on.
Or just squints at him, but keeps following silently. And if we go in another circle again, she's gonna
Yeah.
be paying attention. Though.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay.
25. As he's leading you on, every time you guys go around a little curve or a bend, he looks and just kind of examines the rocks all around you. And almost like he's trying to get his bearings.
Do you know the rocks or something?
Not these ones.
Okay. I don't know if that's good or if that's bad.
Which ones do you know?
Mostly the ones back at my home.
Shocker.
Just wait a little.
Eventually, though, silence does lead you back to the original fork in the tunnel that you had taken. So your options are now to either go right down the tunnel you guys haven't explored, or back to the left, which would take you back up the tunnel.
Okay, so we're in
It's
another
down.
circle. So I say we go the opposite way.
Yeah. Well, just in case.
So
The
Let's do
tiefling
that.
goes first.
Okay. Dustin, do you lead the way?
One's messing up just a sec. Alright. Just a second, I have to fix something.
oh, good.
Okay. Forno, what do you mean by Furbolg talking? I'm curious.
Talks like a furball. It's
Like a
talks
furball.
Yeah. Like he's this big, cow-faced guy.
Alright, sorry, I'm back now.
For the record, I've never included a Furbolg in my campaigns yet. On this one yet. So, yet.
Oh, hey there.
Yeah. What makes you think they're going to sound like that, Forno?
Oh, I have no idea.
No metagaming from the other game.
That's true. I don't know what a furball sounds like. You're right. I apologize.
Alright, I'm back. So, which way are we going?
The left.
Well, yeah, left from when you were originally coming down the tunnel. Right now it's to your right.
Okay, to the right then.
To the right.
And who's leading the way? I need just a standing marching order to begin with.
Am I still leading the way?
Can be, or I'll be right behind you.
And after Ari?
I'll be behind Ari.
Alright.
I'm going behind them.
And then Dothrak in front of Forno? Does that sound good to you,
I'm
Forno?
going last. Yeah, I'm going last. Just in case they try to pick us from behind.
All right. You guys continue down. All right. You guys continue down the tunnel. Silence leading the way this time, and another. It's still sloping downwards. Before, but now everyone's kind of noticing it, except for Silence, who's kind of used to it. The air down here is warm. You guys have spent a little bit of time underground, and you tend to associate it with more of a cold-aired air in the tunnels themselves, but this is more akin to like warm daylight above ground kind of air. It's got a healthy heat to it. It's not uncomfortable or anything. None of you guys are sweating just yet, but 80 degrees and 70 degrees at this point.
It's like when you go to an underground parking lot.
Exactly, yeah. It's the difference between walking outside and walking in an underground parking lot. It's pretty warm in here.
Okay.
It's comfortable. But after another 200 feet or so, come across a pretty tracked up area of dirt and mud. I will check real quick.
Did you say Ari? I'm sorry, you cut out every once in a while.
I need to get a new mic, I swear. Yeah, go ahead and roll. There you go. So, looking through this area, looks like there were multiple humans here at this point. You're finding several sets of tracks, about 6 of them total, 6 different humanoid sets. And in addition, 3 sets that you're not entirely sure what they are.
Okay.
We'll identify it. They're almost like a large lizard. Not quite like Dothrak's paws, but... And there's only 2 of them, so they're walking upright. And what you're seeing from this area, it kind of looks like there might have been a little bit of a scuffle, or at least enough spot to cause this area to be kind of churned up and messed around a little bit with the dirt and mud. You are seeing a little farther down multiple sets of the humanoid tracks, as well as the 3 sets of lizard-like tracks appear to be dragging 2 things behind them.
Okay. She'll relay that to everybody.
Get ready for scuffle. I just shink. Unload my shield. Unload. Then unsheath my warhammer. Silence. I didn't survive this long without having fights. But you don't look like my kind of fighter. So
I moved to the back.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Or like to the middle.
Middle.
Okay. Alright, you move back to the middle wall. Ari, still in the lead?
Yeah, for now.
You continue down the tunnel another 200, 300 feet. You hear it first, Ari, and quickly everyone behind you hears it as well. The soft blowing of wind, or some kind of air flow. Eventually the tunnel levels out, and you are met with an open cavern, very large, spacious cavern. The main part of which is chasm. So you're on a platform about 10 feet in front of you and about 60 feet wide across, 300-foot chasm.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
where there's another area of size to that. On the other side of the rock are several statues that appear to represent some kind of lizard-like being wearing piecemeal armor, carrying shields and a saber. Lod, go ahead and roll a nature check. You are with seeing these statues. You're able to identify what these creatures are. You've only kind of heard of them and seen diagrams of them, but these look like fire newts. They are, yep, fire newts. They are large salamander-like creatures, sentient humanoids of lizard folk, but very large, very warm beings, and they prefer warm air, usually hot springs or volcanoes.
Okay, this is why the lands are so warm.
Aren't sure of that yet, but there are fire newts and the area is warm. And as you kind of get a little bit close to the edge of the chasm to look at these statues, you happen to notice that there's a gust of warm air coming up from the chasm. And looking down, there's down pretty far. What you're seeing down below is distant enough you're not actually able to make out the distance itself, but there are what appear to be just thin red lines at the bottom of this chasm, and the smell of sulfur and rock kind of hits you as it blows up. That's lava down there.
Oh.
Not good.
And Ari, as you
That
kind of look
doesn't like fire much.
around, it looks like there are several hooks placed into the edges of the chasm at far ends with what appear to be climbing apparatus.
The nature of the creatures, I know something about them besides what you said. I mean,
You
the
know that
nature, if they are aggressive, if they eat meat.
you've never met fire newt. You only know a little bit from studies. You know that they're intelligent creatures, so they're sentient. They're able to be reasoned with to a certain point. They don't go out normally and just eat humans or anything like that. They're not wolves.
Can I tell if these hooks are for going up or for going down primarily? I mean, I'm assuming both ways, but...
General wisdom check.
Okay.
Okay, why is your modifier showing
I'm not sure.
woman? Getting a bonus to that. 5 + 1.
It's either an 18 or a 19. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to look at that. I'm wondering. I don't know. Never know. Anyway, at it. It's a little hard to tell. You pull up a little bit of the rope on one of the climbing sets, and it looks like it was burnt off at the end. Distance across the chasm is great enough. It's you can barely make out what appears to be the other set of a climbing apparatus. You can't really tell if this was connected or not, though.
Okay.
But you're guessing from the length of rope that most people carry, it probably wasn't going down.
Okay.
What's your assumption from that?
I look around and see if the tracks lead to like a direction, like a tunnel or a door.
Stop at the chasm.
Okay.
How much does fire hurt you?
Fire hurts for now.
Yeah, but I mean, like regular hurt, or hurt really bad hurt.
Like really bad burning hurt.
Okay. So I have a spell.
Lada
As
starts
for
to
now.
not to feel comfortable with the thing with lava.
I have a spell.
Lod, real quick, go ahead and roll a perception check as you're finishing looking at the fire newts and kind of backing up a little bit. 21. Glancing across the chasm, kind of backing up, feeling uncomfortable with the heat and everything, you are able to see something behind the statues of fire newts. At the back part of this chasm, on the other side of it, is yet another granite gateway, similar in size and construction to the one you guys entered in the Underwalk Ward. You're able to make out very large engraved runes into the top of it. It's a language you have learned, and you are able to read it. It's not one you haven't used in a long time. This is Ignan. This is a variant of Primordial, typically used by fire elementals and creatures like that. And in it, or in the engraved runes, reads, "Only those faithful to the fire god may cross his rivers into our borders."
Make crosses rivers. Can you please repeat that to me?
I'm posting in. I'm gonna post that in the Discord.
Oh, thank you.
I don't want to repeat myself 7 times. There you go.
You have a spell that might help us with that. But the thing is, if I use it on the people who are not resistant to fire, then I'm out of that level of magic. I'll risk it.
Yeah. I don't know how much that would help anyway.
Well, they'll make you as resistant as me to fire now.
True.
Not even an endure elements will make you.
Well, mine is protection from energy, so it's a specific kind of energy which is fire.
No, I understand energy like something different. To be honest,
Well,
I will think of an
that's what my
endure
guy
element.
says.
Hmm.
Endure elements, but I think that was like for natural phenomena, so like sunlight, prolonged heat and stuff.
Who's the god of fire
Oh,
or something similar?
well,
Yeah, I
the old
was
hammer
wondering the
deals
same
with
thing.
fire.
No,
That's
the
why
old
he's
hammer is forge.
Yeah, but he's granted me protection from the fire. He doesn't want me to burn my hands when I'm forging.
I think it's a different fire though, Porno. It's like natural fire. Like,
How far
you know.
across this chasm?
300 feet.
But I
Lod,
think there are-
you rolled high enough on your nature check that you'd be aware of this. You're not even sure that fire newts follow the actual like pantheon of the world. So when they refer to something as a fire god, it might not even be the Allhammer, if it's anything.
It's 300 feet. That's right.
pretty sure our friends actually went down there, so.
Yeah, Hey, Belen, would a guy like you have like something to like scale the walls around it?
I mean, I can fly, but I feel like I'm gonna get, like, hit out of the air.
Killed right the moment that you try to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I'd be very good at scaling the walls over 300 feet.
Felon, as you approach the chasm, just kind of trying to gauge the distance and everything, go ahead and roll a perception check for me. "20. Glancing, just trying to gauge the distance across to these statues in this chasm, looking at the walls around you and everything, you happen to glance down into the chasm itself, noticing these rivers of lava that Laud pointed out, and something kind of clicks in your head a little bit. The rivers of lava match, but they almost line up perfectly with the fire newt statues.
I would relay that to everybody else.
Huh.
So this like we can jump, but how?
Ari's gonna walk over to a statue and just look at it, like more.
Well, okay. Keep in mind the statues are on the other side of the chasm, but you're now
Yeah.
you're across the chasm, standing in front of one. Ugly looking, kind of looking just straight ahead.
All right. She's gonna like look for any sort of things on the floor that correspond or something.
Make an investigation check.
Wait, Portal can read Primordial too. What was the message again?
It's posted in the Discord. Only those faithful to the
Oh.
fire god may cross his borders. Excuse me. Cross his rivers into our borders.
20.
Nothing on your side of the chasm that seems to correspond at all.
Okay. Fuck.
So you said that it lines up almost perfectly. What happens if we try and twist or move this elemental stage that just goes?
Shoes are on the other side of the chasm, so you're not touching them.
You can't get to them.
Yeah.
What about on our side? There's no newts on our side.
No, there's no statues on your side.
That's why our.
What
was
about
looking on the
what
floor.
about trying to lighting it up with fire?
You have something that you can light up a statue with fire
Yeah.
I
Sacred
don't.
flame.
300 feet away.
Three. Check. Spiritual weapon. What is the range?
Silence, do you have any ideas?
Being pretty true to your name.
Well, that may be because my mic. After looking around, do I notice anything familiar?
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw. 16. God damn, you and the high rolls today, I guess. Still something about the fire newts. You now recognize the fire newts from being in that etching that this little gnomish woman showed you earlier. It's hard to you remember something. You're not entirely sure what it is. It's just like that one thing at the back of your mind that you just quite can't put your finger on. But something's telling you something about the lava rivers in the bottom of the chasm and the statues. There's something with that and the wording of that phrase on the gateway. Familiar, and it all seems connected.
All right, I relay that to the rest of the group.
In particular, the words faithful, or the word faithful.
Okay.
Faithful. Oh, right. That is in silence head.
Yeah, the metagaming pigeon.
I'm trying actually to be less metagamish, to be honest.
I mean, I homebrew enough stuff that metagaming it defeats it, but
Do I know anything about, like, what religion this would be, or what faithful they could be talking about?
you're not entirely sure about their religion. Nothing seems to be coming to your memory at the moment. You do know you're able to remember of fire newts that they are fervently loyal to whatever they are worshiping. There various things that they can worship. It's not always a god. Sometimes it's just a being that they see as a god. but they're willing to do just about anything to prove that they're faithful to him. Anything from fighting to their enemies until the death, jumping off of cliffs to prove their loyalty to their god, even going so far as to fight civil wars to them against themselves, against other factions of the faithful.
Hmm. Or it's just kind of like pacing back and forth.
Oh, okay. Here goes nothing. I'm going to try and cast Sacred Flame on the magma. Well, that is the only thing that I can reach, right?
What are you trying to cast it on? The magma at the bottom of the chasm?
Yeah, like
It won't reach that.
Sacred.
The magma at the bottom of the chasm's far enough that you don't even know how far it's down. Like it's a fall. You can't even gauge that distance. Staring into the bottom of a mine shaft.
and then there's like the two salamanders like on the other side of the chasm, right?
Seem lined up with the rivers on the bottom.
Reavers.
If I look down, I can't like see anybody walking, right? Like there's no end in.
Perception disadvantage.
All right.
Wait, are you trying to gauge down in the chasm itself, or?
Yeah, to see if anybody's watching us. Yeah.
This is my question. Across the chasm or down the chasm? Which way are you looking?
Oh, sorry. Across kept getting cut off for you.
Across the chasm. So you're just looking across the chasm.
No, I'm trying to look down the chasm, but I didn't hear you saying a question.
Go ahead and roll perception at disadvantage then.
Okay.
For looking down into the chasm. Nothing down there moving other than just the soft glow from the lava rivers, however far down they are. It's pretty far down there, so it'd be pretty hard to make out anything to begin with, but you're pretty confident you don't see anything down there.
Alright, guys, I think I'm just gonna fly over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you make us fly?
I cannot make you fly. But, Dothra, come here.
Over.
I hop on my little saddle,
Mm-hmm.
and we go.
You begin flying across the chasm. You make your way all the way over without any issue, except when you're about 15 feet away from the edge. The fire newt statue closest to you turns its head and seems to lock onto you. I need
shit.
both of you to roll dexterity saving throws.
Oh, dear. Oof.
17, okay for you, and...
Oh, good.
Yep, hooray.
Oh, dear.
Oh, good.
Oh, dear.
So you take 10 points of damage, Dothrog takes 21 points of damage from fire, as a just jet of flame sprouts from the mouth of this fire newt statue, singeing a little bit of you, but mostly Dothrog absorbing the blow. Are you
Oh.
continuing forward or turning back?
Turning back.
Quickly turn back around, flying back and landing at the safe end of the chasm.
I cure wounds, second level for for the poor Dothrak. I'm sorry, Ari, but
No, I would encourage you.
was it 4?
Shit.
Heal him a little bit. There you go, little buddy. Okay, so no flying. These things do
Oh,
not
shit.
like that. By the way,
Okay.
did the perception from there like changed once you were up in the air, or Was it all the same?
I
Nothing really seemed different other than the fact that a statue turned its head and shot fire at you.
think we need to like put these rivers out or something. I don't know.
Okay, wait. There's something about the word faithful that just irks. Maybe a leap of faith?
Maybe.
Should we try jumping?
I mean, Silence, you should probably try jumping first. You know, just to, you know.
Sorry, I my
I haven't been
internet
down
went
this
off
way in a
again.
while.
Oh, you're good, Evie.
I guess I'll take a leap of faith.
Before he does that, I would recommend to at least tie a rope around him in case he does wind up falling.
That
So
does
get
seem
ready
like.
to catch him.
Although, where's the faith in the leap of faith if you do that?
Oh,
That's true.
that's your call.
Yeah. Silence, do you allow them to tie a rope around you to, as like a...
Well, I think I'll try without the rope.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
Alright.
He's an old man. He's lived his life.
Any spot on the edge of the chasm, or...
Which way do the rivers run like towards us to the statues?
They run parallel to you guys. Down below, they're perfectly lined up with the statues, heading straight for you. Below you guys.
One second. Corey, could you please activate that? Like, because the way I see it is like we're. There you go. Something right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah. Then there. Sure. Like so, or like 1, 1, and 2, like that. Is that the way they seem across, or do they go the other way?
Yeah, they run like that. So if you guys are at these like this is the side of the chasm you guys are on, the rivers run directly, like parallel to you guys, so straight ahead of you, to the other side of the chasm. Down below. And they're perfectly aligned with the statues.
Maybe jump in between the rivers. If you're gonna jump.
I have an idea. I put on my water skin, then I put a squirt, like just on top of what would be a river to see if it is as far as we think they are. If it's just our eyes playing games with us.
Ooh.
Down into the chasm.
Yeah, like over the river, like a squirt of water to see if.
Okay. You do a quick little squirt of water. Just kind of falls, and you can't see where the water went.
Yeah. Okay. No. Silence. That was a bad idea. All right. Now let's do this. We're thinking here. So, what about the squirt there?
Are you doing it?
I'm doing the same squirt thing, but just between the rivers.
Okay. You squirt a little bit of the water, and it just keeps going. Out of sight.
I just can't transform in animals, right?
Yeah, you can only transform into animals.
I cannot transform into one of those creatures because they are not animals.
No, they're humanoid.
Jesus, I want,
Yeah, Ari's just gonna watch and see if silence flats or if he is fine.
We do with rope. I mean,
He said no rope.
sure you don't want a rope, Alice?
Hijo, pero es que tú estás gordo. Sorry. My cat just
Flopped
got
her.
into my lap and he's a big fat cat.
He
What if
flopped-
I just try stepping out over the edge and see if I can feel anything?
Okay, where are you doing this? Are you doing this just any part of over the chasm, or over one of the rivers, or where?
Over one of the rivers.
Okay. You take one step out there, and your foot hits something solid.
Oh.
And you kind of put your weight onto it, and it's holding your weight. Whatever this is, it's holding your weight
Right on top of the river?
right over the river.
Cautiously take another step.
Okay. You take another step, and it's still supporting your weight. You guys are looking now as Silence is about 3 feet away from the chasm, right over one of these rivers, just floating in midair, but it looks like he's standing on something.
Okay, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
And I guess I'll keep going across the river cautiously.
Okay, you cautiously begin to cross the river. Takes you a little bit going slower. That's 300 feet after all. But after about... You make your way to the end of the chasm, and you're right in front of the fire newt statue. Statue doesn't seem to move. And you're able to step onto the other side of the chasm safely.
Okay.
Alright, I guess I'll
Oh.
follow. But Dothrock right behind me.
Takes a little bit coaxing to get Dothrock to go, because
Yeah.
it's just... He's not flying, but there's nothing beneath him, but he's walking. But after about 15-20 minutes of walking cautiously across this, you guys are able to get across to the other side of the chasm without any issues.
There was a part of faith that wasn't.
Okay.
So I have to ask, out of character, did anyone ever watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
I was thinking
Yes.
that at first when you
Obviously,
said
that's
that.
why I thought the water thing.
I thought of that all the time, but I thought that it was too obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I
went.
Way too
I
no.
went.
Blatant ripoff here. Come on now.
You think Corey comes up with stuff?
Oh, come on.
Let's... I'm just kidding.
Unless it's poop related. His poop stuff is really original.
That's true. Yes. Hey, this is the first one shot I've ever done that didn't involve poop yet.
That's true, that's
This
true.
is
Please
Still
don't.
early.
If you
Still
start,
It's still early.
if you start with poop, I'm going to leave.
You guys didn't even check what was at the bottom of the chasm.
No, no poop.
Thought it
Can't
was
see.
rock.
No poop.
It was just flaming poop.
Yep,
No
basically.
poop. Don't give him ideas. Bye.
But
It's
you
just
guys
that
made
the last one shot we had to do was so gross that I was eating my pizza and
Oh, yeah.
I almost puke over my own food.
to be fair,
So
that was
no.
the last one shot you had to do. Rest of us had to do was less poop related. Significantly less poop related. Because it was more Lod got kidnapped related.
True. Ugh.
Anyway, you guys have now made it to the other side of the chasm. You are standing before the and ready to continue on down the tunnels.
Okay, let's go. She just is like rubbing the burn that's on her arm.
All right. I need a marching order again. Are you guys using the same one?
The same one, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I have Ari, Felon, Silence, Lod, Dothrock, and Forno then. Oh, my notes. There they are. You continue on into the tunnel. And another about 100 feet or so down, it starts getting, it's another step, or another flash of like warm air through the tunnel as the air is growing once again warmer. Now it's a little more, it's a bit more like a nice, like warm day outside, shade. So it's still not quite uncomfortable, but any major exertion, you'll probably start sweating in your armor. A bit warmer. Ari, that's when you first see a body.
Fuck. She just heads over to cautiously.
Checking the body, or just walking up to the body, it appears to be human, garbed in the traditional armor and cloak of the scouts, typical of Western and this area of Tal'Dorei.
Well,
To be just face down dead.
alright, I'll turn him over.
What are you doing?
Turning him over.
Okay. As you turn him over, you hear a
Yeah.
something was underneath him that was depressed. I need you to roll a dex saving throw.
Okay.
18. Oh, someone left. Who left?
Not me.
Maybe.
So you take 8 points of damage as a small spout opens up right above you. Instinctively just try to duck out of the way, but not quick enough to avoid all of the lava that pours directly onto this spot.
Motherfucker!
8 points of fire damage from the bits of flecks of lava that do manage to get onto you and singe you a little bit.
I don't like lava.
I'm back. Sorry. Ugh.
It's okay, Ari got burned again.
Oh my god.
I'm putting the fucking dude back. Felon.
Yeah.
In front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do your job.
Telling Ari.
Ari's mad. She's just like, do
And
your
Ari-
job.
Ari, it's at
I-
this point that you see the back of the body is actually coated in what appears to be a dried, blackened rock. You get the sense that this same dude tripped that same trap and died via lava.
I
Even
hand her.
before moving the body. So,
I hand her good berries. Ay, no me muerdas.
how many good berries do you have,
Cariñito.
Lon?
I
'Cause
don't.
I know you fed a few to. I know you fed a few to Death Rock,
To the Throxy. I gave him like 2 or something.
and I think you get like 5 per
Mhm.
spell cast.
Mm-hmm.
So you can give the other 3 to Ari if you choose to.
Thanks.
I think that.
Felon's leading now.
Yeah, I'll
She
start
just,
with
like-
the trap.
Angrily eat the
Wait.
berries.
Well, I got an idea. I'm gonna go ahead and cast protection from energy fire on Fallon.
Okay. Do you have the spell description in roll 20?
Of course.
Well, roll 20 now. In D&D Beyond. Protection from energy. For the duration, the willing creature you touch has resistance to 1 damage choice: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
Okay. What's the duration?
1 hour.
So for the next hour, you are resistant to fire damage. Felon,
Oh, that'll come in handy.
you think?
Yeah.
'Cause I'll probably get burned a few times.
All right. So as you're leading the way now, checking for traps, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Why the hell is my investigation so goddamn low?
Certain that there is nothing in front of you that's trapped as you continue down the tunnel. And thankfully, there isn't. But you start after another 50, 60 feet, sloping downwards once again and then leveling out. You are able to see a soft glow up ahead of you. So we're about to see whether or not I actually got dynamic lighting to work right as I move you to the first map. I have no idea what this looks like for you guys.
Black.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys can't even see up at the top your characters.
Oh, let me scroll up. Oh, yeah.
Nope.
I see my character, but that's it.
I don't know if this is me, but I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the middle there, Dustin. You're the
So
random.
all the way out, and I can.
I can only see myself.
Turn off. I'll figure out dynamic lighting a different day because I didn't figure it out this time. You guys don't see any of this ahead of you. You do not see any of this ahead of you.
We don't.
I see nothing.
See, in front of you appears to be a circular chamber with numerous tunnels branching off from it. Felon, ahead of you are in the center of the tunnel appears to be some kind of and what appear to be two fire newts sitting there, standing but chatting with each other. As no one decided to roll a stealth check there earlier.
Sounds like us.
As you guys just walk into this part of the tunnel, they both just look up. They look at each other.
Ha ha.
I
You
speak
suddenly
Mardo.
Yeah,
Mardo.
you both hear them start screeching
Hello
in
there.
Ignan. Intruders! Intruders! Intruders!
I shoot at him.
Okay.
Which
yeah.
one are you attacking?
Probably the one on the right.
An attack.
I have nothing. It's cold.
14. That does not hit. As he was already jumpy about seeing you guys, he quickly raises his shield as a bolt just strikes into it. Hold on 1 second.
We're gonna die in here.
Need everybody to
Sorry,
roll
quietly
initiative.
to
I need
myself.
everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, right. I have to select my thingy first. By the way, yeah, remember that
Oh shit! I what am I doing?
first select the character, and then
Select your token, then roll initiative.
that's the rule.
Hey.
Ooh, 17, that's not bad.
Da, 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 da. It's probably gonna be bad. It was bad. Lad has never had initiative.
Yeah, my cleric on Wednesday.
This is why
usually
she-
gets 0.
This is
She's
why
just-
she's a diplomat.
Really meh about this whole fighting thing.
My
Yeah.
cleric has literally rolled zeros for
And-
initiative before. She just was
and
like, I'm just gonna
also-
stand here.
And also, I am a water Pokemon versus a fire Pokemon. I have disadvantage.
Actually, you have advantage.
Advantage.
So in Pokemon, water puts fire out.
Yes, Squirtle beats the shit out of
Oh
Charmander.
yes. Oh, I got
It's if you
confused.
use water abilities. So, and you have no
That
idea if that
sounds like
translates to
a plant
D&D. No idea if that translates to D&D abilities. So, now that we're all set, Forno, you're up. As you see, Felon had quickly launched a crossbow bolt at one of these creatures, and who managed to deflect the bolt. They're both still just shouting "intruder" in Ignan. What would you like to do?
First, as a
Yeah,
bonus,
Papa.
I think that I would like to get them here, right, like at the crossing. Wait for them. Yeah, whenever they are gonna cross it for someone, like they're gonna get hit, right?
Okay. As you move into that spot you just moved into, you take a step over to it, and your foot just gives way. I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my! Oh, I'll hammer. Yeah.
Not managing to catch your foot on the other end, you end up falling completely through the floor, about this pit, smashing some kind of cracking, like shell type thing at the bottom of this pit. As you kind of like look up a little bit, glancing around, it looks like you just squished a bunch of eggs.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Sorry! I shout in Primordial. Sorry!
You just hear this furious wailing off in the distance.
You just
You don't put eggs just like right in the hallway. That's stupid.
they're going to be mad, really mad.
In a 7-foot pit, it will take you 10 feet of movement to get out of the pit.
Alright, where's he gonna put him down anyway?
Okay. Put myself out.
You are back out of the pit, but that is the last of your movement.
Yeah, that's okay. Then I'm going to protect my friends with the usual. You know what I'm gonna cast?
Shield of Faith.
Achoo!
No,
Damn it,
my
Felon,
bonus.
Stop
You
sneezing.
cast a
My spiritual weapon.
yeah, spiritual weapon. Okay. That normally means Shield of Faith. What you? Let me. Where the hell did I put that? Really put it under? I guess I did. Maybe there it is.
There you go. And still can hit this guy, right?
Yeah, you could hit. Yeah, you can spawn it right next to him and go for the attack.
I mean, oh yeah, that's a hole. Okay. Right, there you go.
Makes it.
Spiritual weapon. It's a 15. Does that hit?
That does not hit. As you swing the anvil in, the fire newt just brings its shield up, deflecting it up above it.
Oh. Okay.
More pissed off, so it was a little more wary of your attack, since you just crushed a bunch of its babies.
Who puts their babies just in the middle of the...
Lizards. Lizards put their babies in the ground,
Yeah.
and then build little things over it so predators can't find them.
And
Yeah.
yet,
This is
And
why.
yet,
This is why they lay so many eggs.
This is
you
what
have
these...
no idea.
Biology lesson.
You
This
have
is
no
why they're
idea
gonna go
how many
sing.
eggs they lay.
She's
No,
a ranger.
you can't move, Forno,
She
so
doesn't
anything
know.
else?
Can move. Well, I have this prepared. Oh, I still have an action, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna cast protection from energy for lad.
You can't. You already cast a 2nd level spell on your turn. So it's
Yeah,
got to
but
be...
that's a 3rd level.
You can only cast a cantrip now.
Oh, right. Cantrip. Shoot. What do
Yep.
matter of? Oh, right.
And also,
Oh.
protection from energy isn't it concentration?
Protection from energy? No, it's not concentration. Oh, yes, it is concentration. You're right. I can only do it for one person at a time. Right. Okay. Oh, yes, I can do. Well, Sacred Flame, but I don't think that Sacred Flame is gonna do much.
You are aware of your own abilities, so you're aware that Sacred Flame is radiant damage.
Oh, okay. Okay, Sacred Flame then, but for this guy instead.
Okay. It is... What is it, a dex save?
Yep, DC 14.
Succeeds.
Oh, god damn.
Burst of fiery-looking energy, it just backs out of the way with its shield in front of it, managing to avoid any damage.
Oh, hammer, damn it.
I mean, that was kind of a successful turn. You killed a bunch of babies.
Yeah, I don't think that Forno would consider that, like, honorable at all.
It wasn't... You didn't set out to do it. You stepped into it.
Yeah, pretty much, but...
no, it kind of fell into it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and they'll be orphans soon. So.
So I kind of fell into it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
a point on the
God.
pun board.
Leave the tripping and falling to me. I'm better at it.
Ivy, you having fun with your druid craft there?
Actually, it says Druid craft.
Craft.
Oh no! I was doing
Rude.
something. Sorry.
Ari, it is your turn.
Alright. Shoot it right there. And she's gonna shoot, she's gonna shoot one, and if it works, she'll shoot it again, and if it doesn't work, she'll just shoot the
Okay. And with your passive perception, you're able to kind of hear off in the distance. It sounds like there's more of them further into this cavern system. There are quite a few tunnels, as you've kind of noticed, in this area, and it sounds like there's more farther in. So, which one are you
Alright.
shooting, left or right?
I'll go for the left one.
Go ahead and roll to attack. That's a miss, as the arrow just thunk into the
I'll
shield.
go for it one more time.
I thought you said that Roll20 had faces algorithm. Oh, there you go.
They've never said that there was anything wrong with their algorithm, so they don't feel the need to fix it. Okay. Yeah, of course you do.
I have to.
Go ahead and roll damage.
I'm assuming that other one hits.
Well, yeah, the natural 20 hits.
Just an assumption.
Yeah, the natural 20, of course. Okay, so we're not doing double damage die, but so it's still the same amount of damage. 7 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
There we go. It manages to block the arrow the first time, but you see an opening and manage to sink an arrow right into its fleshy little stomach. It appears to be leaking some kind of like orangish blood that almost sizzles as it hits the ground,
Ooh.
and it kind of makes this like odd screeching noise.
Careful if you hit that.
Okay.
Ugh.
Any other
Done.
movement? Okay.
By the way, is this like a column? Goes all the way up?
Table. It goes about 3 feet up.
Okay.
Felon, you're up. That's a miss as you load the crossbow one more time, taking another quick shot, managing to block it with the shield, unfortunately.
And that's pretty much all I can do.
Movement?
No, I'm fine.
Dothrak's turn. Ari?
Okay. Let's see, what the fuck is he gonna do? He is going to go right here and do a, I guess he'll just use the dodge action.
Okay, so he just kind of gets ready to avoid whatever gets thrown his
Yeah.
way.
Mm-hmm.
But it is your turn. Ivy,
Excuse me.
it's your turn.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm gonna cast. I know I don't want to fight.
Well, fight sort of found us.
Yes, because you crush eggs. You crush their eggs.
They put it in the dark alley right next to a dining table.
Hmm. Well, I can't create water. At least to see if that makes them at least uncomfortable.
Okay, so you're casting Create Water, and what are you doing to do with this?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What?
So you're creating water. What are you doing with this water that you're creating?
Tu. I'm trying to. Well, the egg. Where were the eggs?
They're in a pit.
It's there. Oh, the eggs were in a pit right here.
Yeah, the pit that you definitely just fell in.
I heard my name.
I'm
Yeah.
too. No, I'm too far. No, my idea is not good.
So you got arrows.
Yes, that's. I'm going just to use my crossbow, I think.
Short bow.
Short bow, yes.
Okay, go and roll to attack. Which one are you attacking first off, left or right?
Left.
And roll to attack. Is it going through?
That's the eggs like bleeding.
Natural 20, so yeah, that hits.
Yay!
Hey.
Damage.
Short bows have a really long range, 80 feet. That's really. ¿Se fue la mogolla?
Okay, so it is
No.
3, 6, 8 points of piercing damage. The arrow once again sinks into another fleshy part of it, spitting out a little bit of the very warm blood as it sizzles to the ground. This creature just still screeching out in like a lizard-like fury. It's looking pretty rough. But that the end of your turn?
Like, they're hard to hit, but once they hit them, they're as feeble as their eggs. Just
Odd is at the end of your turn.
what?
Sorry, my internet is giving me issues. You're breaking up.
Is that the end? That's the end of your turn, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Silence. It is your turn.
Alright. I guess I'll move.
Watch out for the eggs. Don't like it.
And I guess I'll try to cast Ray of Frost at the one on the left.
Okay. Go ahead and click on the spell. It should give you a little description whenever you cast it. 12 does not hit. As you summon forth this little blast of cold, throwing it forward, even its like final little trying to avoid death, it throws the shield up, managing to block this icy blast of energy. You guys watch as just this, almost like a snowball, smacks against this shield and just spreads out, almost freezing the wood a little bit.
Huh.
Is there anything you can do for a bonus action, or?
Don't think so. I think I'll stay here.
Okay. Brings us to the fire newts. Off in the distance, this a little bit similar to the noise that they were making whenever Forno landed in the eggs and smashed them. In addition, those of you who are fluent in Primordial hear, still in Ignan, the fire dialect of it, or summon the guards. And from where you are, Forno, and where you are, Silence, you're able to see kind of off in the distance this tunnel way back over here, across what appears to be some kind of wooden walkway. Fire newts begin making their way back further into the tunnel. Others you start hearing make their way towards you guys to try and answer this call to arms, it seems. The word has been put out that they are under attack, and there are intruders here in the tunnels.
Oh,
These two that are still facing you, having noticed that their comrades are on their way, are going to go ahead and move forward and try to attack.
okay.
Strike.
Does the one on the right give attack opportunity to spiritual weapon? No, right?
Spiritual weapon is not an actual like person, so it doesn't get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, it's just like they can flank either, right?
Not flank either, because they're not people.
Okay.
It's just a thing that looks like it's there and is able to hit stuff, but it doesn't actually exist. It's not able to get any kind of attacks like that.
Oh dear.
So, first one is going to go ahead and strike at you, Silence,
Skinny, watch
The-
out!
as it pulls up its scimitar. Does an 18 hit you?
AC
It's your-
12. Yep.
So yes,
This is
right, that
perfect.
I could do a reaction.
you can.
Shield. Gives me +5 bonus to AC,
Oh,
Say you
including
know-
against the triggering attack.
that's still
Yep, and I'd
17.
say you know this. Yeah, I'd say you'd know this before you cast it, that it wouldn't help block the attack since it would still
No. Yeah.
17, not an 18.
Just
We go
one
to
of them.
cast shield, trying to block this, and realize like I'll just take the hit. You take 3 points of slashing damage. Carves through just a part of your arm a little bit as a bit of blood seeps out. It's not a very deep cut. This one was very wounded and wasn't doing a whole lot of damage to anyone. No,
But Skinny.
as the second one walks up to you, has its scimitar ready, but it sees that you're kind of a bigger individual, so it's not entirely sure it wants to strike out at you. So it just kind of head a little bit and spits out this gush of fire. I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh. Okay, well, hammer, protect me. Ooh. At 20.
Okay, so success, I need to roll, what is it, 2d8? 5 points of fire damage. Reduced again because you're resistance to fire, so you take 2 points of fire damage. So you only lightly cook in your armor.
Toasty.
That's the end of the Fire Newt's turn, so back to Forno.
Right? Okay, thank you for walking in closer to me. Now I can use this. Okay. If I charge... No, that's okay. Then I'm just gonna... bash it with my magic warhammer. Nope.
Nope, that's a miss. As you you bring the hammer down to try and hit it, it seems to match you blow for blow, bringing up its own shield and blocking it in time with your hammer.
Wow, we are just so good.
God damn it. Can't roll good.
Oh, roll 20.
I know the
Yeah,
feeling.
no. The you bring the anvil back around, trying to smack for it, and it just instinctively, shield out, blocks the strike, getting ready to face you again. Any movement?
Come on, Scaly. No, because that would provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Ari, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna shoot the one I can see the easiest, so the one attacking Forno.
Yep.
Wow.
15. It was already ready for a strike from Forno, and just out of the corner of its eye, sees you shoot, blocks the arrow with its shield.
One more.
That's a hit.
Yay.
There you go.
And once again, same as before, arrow, you see your opening and manage to jab it for 8 points of piercing damage.
All right. Bonus action Hunter's Mark. Because I'm a ranger. Yay.
Remember it sometimes.
Yay.
All right, Felon, you're up. You can only see one of them right now, and it's the one attacking Silence.
Well, I'm gonna whiff at it. Oh,
I don't think you whiffed this time, as you managed to see an opening as it's trying to, strike for Silence once again, pulling the crossbow and nailing it between the eyes as the fire newt falls over
Yay.
dead.
Thunk.
See, Joe, I think Roll20 just wants your soul to be broken, and then it gives you.
my soul's been broken for about a month.
Yeah. I think Roll20 just has a sense of drama.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Indeed.
try and hide back here since I can't.
Quick damage,
one once.
but able to get the kill.
I'm just
All right,
gonna
what are you
whiff it.
doing, Felon?
I'm gonna hide since I don't get any other attacks. I don't think.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check. Okay, you duck behind, the rock around here. You feel pretty stealthy. Dothrock is up. Still just
Okay.
sitting there like a guard dog, waiting to attack.
Yeah, I think he'll keep doing that.
Shout.
Your turn.
I heard them they say that they were calling the guards. I don't know what guards they are.
I don't think we're doing the right thing by attacking them, to be honest.
Well, I think it's a little bit too late for diplomacy, and I just point at the hole with the eggs.
It's true.
Well, this is your fault.
It's
To be
not
fair,
like-
they were also shouting intruders before he fell into the eggs. So you
They're
get the
most
feeling,
likely
Lot,
killing
that these
people.
aren't friendly. Yeah, these aren't friendly creatures.
Hmm. Okay.
Taking
Or
people
from your
as
previous roll, that
prisoners.
these creatures tend to be fiercely territorial. So anything that they perceive as a threat to their territory, they're going to fight it.
Yeah, it's like they're geese, but you
Yeah.
know they breathe fire. They're geese that
Okay.
breathe fire.
For the sake of character, there's no diplomacy to be had right now.
Especially after he squashed the kids.
Yeah, especially that.
Honey, I squashed the kids.
Murderer.
Hey, I don't put my babies just in the front door where someone could just step on them.
Because
Yeah,
you
I
don't
mean-
like eggs.
Yeah, you don't lay eggs and you're not a lizard.
Yeah, but I would put it somewhere safe, somewhere well hidden.
Like,
Yeah,
a
in the middle of
massive,
the
like in
living
the
room.
middle of a massive tunnel system that they think is pretty secluded.
Yeah, but this is in the middle of the living room.
How dare they?
You,
Where's the nursery?
you don't know where their living room is.
I see a table. I see some stairs.
You don't even know. Yeah, you don't know the rest of this area
This could be
or the rest of the
nursery
tunnel
for all
system.
we know.
Pasó, mamita?
What a shitty nursery.
So, Lod, your turn. What are you doing?
Doesn't even have
Eh.
tomatoes.
Well, I'm gonna keep attacking this one
Please do.
now
All right, go ahead and
with
shoot.
my short bow again.
It's ready for any attacks and just brings up the shield, blocks it.
Okay.
All right, Silence, you're up. As the one right next to you is now fallen dead with a crossbow bolt sticking out of its face. One still attacking Forno over here. You are able to see kind of off in the distance the movement of a couple different fire newts ways from you.
I think I'm going to try to cast Ray of Frost again on the one next to Forno.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, but
Kind of just mentions to you, Forno, duck, and you move. That does hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Nope, not that. Click on just
Where's
click
the
on Ray
Ray
of
of
Frost in
Frost?
chat. Yeah, just click on Ray of Frost in chat, and it'll roll damage. The cold damage. I can fix that anyway. As this almost like a snowball just flies out of your hand, smacking it dead center in the chest and freezing shut a little bit of its wounds, and just this kind of like eye that it makes. It's looking pretty rough.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna move around the pit
Okay, 5, 10, 15.
and then stay there.
Okay, you are able to see now that you've moved. It looks like further down this tunnel, towards where past where this creature attacking Forno is another fire newt that's just kind of sitting there with its shield and scimitar raised, like in defense. Seems to be waiting to reinforce.
Alright, I'll relay that to the others in the group then.
Alright.
And now that you've moved over here, you're also aware it looks like there's one, now that it's their turn, down this tunnel way over here, where you see this wooden walkway. One of the fire newts in what appears to be kind of this like piecemeal armor with jagged edges on it, and it seems to be sitting at this wooden bridge, like incantation over it. You are being trained in the arcane arts. You're able to tell he is trying to cast a spell or something onto this little walkway.
Far is he? Is he more than 60 feet away?
He is 35 feet away.
Oh. I take a reaction and cast counterspell.
Can. I normally would have you roll for it, but considering he was not casting a very high level spell, 3rd level counterspell automatically succeeds. You watch as he's trying to cast this spell and it just pops and sizzles away.
Huh.
Looks up, surprised at what happened, and makes eye contact with you and just does the little fire newt standing up as tall as he can, trying to look bigger.
Run away! Run away!
You do hear further scurrying off in the distance as some movements are made. Another one seems to cross around, or coming around from the side of the rock to join into this area. Appears to be getting ready to.
Guys, there seems to be a lot of these newts.
And then, as you're saying this, you watch another one come off from a side tunnel. One armored in a very similar way to the one that was at the bridge. This one is now approached. It looks over at you, Silence. Looks over at the rest of the group. My D20. There's a bigger threat here. It's going to look at you, Forno, and it's going to go ahead. As it fires 3 blasts of fire energy straight at you.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Oh, just one.
So 7 points of fire damage reduced to 3.
Oh, okay. I can take it.
And this one straight in front of you, kind of sitting on its death throes a little bit. Okay. Is going to go ahead and just make a 2 attacks with its scimitar.
Nope. Oh, hell no.
What's your armor class again?
23.
3. Have to look at that again. That seems just ridiculously high.
Yeah, because remember, I have full plate +1. I have shield +1. And the forge domain gives me +1.
For the record, you didn't. The plate armor isn't fixed yet.
Oh, okay. Well, then I get the plate armor from before. Still.
So you still have normal plate armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one that I had from Stealth.
All right. Yeah, that just seems ridiculous. All right. 2 strikes with its scimitar. You managed to block both of them in quick succession with your shield and hammer. Forno, it is now your turn.
Okay. It's hammer time. And then I go ahead and I surprise him. He's ready for a physical attack, but I go ahead and smash against my shield. Boom, and do total dead.
It fails. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yay. What? Oh, wait.
rolling a d8.
Actually, D12 because he's already damaged.
Yeah, I gotta redo that because Toll the Dead's now an actual spell, so I'll have to redo it. You should also have 2d12. 5.
Huh? Oh, this was wait. Okay. Yeah.
Since we had to manually enter that spell, it's broken. But go ahead and roll another d12 as well. So 10 points of damage. You watch as it just falls over dead, bleeding its sizzling blood out of its ears.
Huh. Okay. And okay, let me see if I can snap to center.
Oop, my
Wait,
bad.
wait. Okay, yeah, I can block these guys. Where do you think you're going? Wham! Uh-oh, that's not good.
You try to bring the anvil around, and it just moves out of the way, smacks into the into the wall itself.
But still, I tried to make the weapon like to block the way towards silence. Like,
Okay.
move,
Pretty
Tiny,
pretty.
move!
Ari, it is your turn.
She's gonna first move her hunter's mark to the new big guy. And then she's gonna shoot him.
Okay.
Yay! This lecture is like, okay, the first one is just to measure what's the difference, and then the other one's like, okay, I have to like fine tune to this.
So 14.
Yep.
First
Just
shot's
checking.
always judging the distance.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, I was double checking something. So 14 points of damage. Nice. As
Yeah.
once it just moves out of the way, having already been a little wary, watching this giant ethereal in front of it, quickly taking the arrow into its chest, in between one of the armor plates. Pretty hurt from the arrow just sticking out of it now, as it kind of grabs the arrow shaft and just burns it to cinders, looking at you with this just rage in its eyes.
Okay, that's her turn.
You will have to move to make any attacks. Go.
Nope.
Joe!
Oh, sorry.
You fall asleep on us?
No, I was distracted with something.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I can see that one now, right?
I mean, you're now through 3 different party members.
How about there instead?
Slightly better. You can at least tell Forno to duck.
Duck! Hopefully I can sneak attack on this guy.
I hope he says
Yeah,
it just like that too.
I think that's like a classic command for me, because I'm always like between them and the baddies.
Would I get advantage if I was hiding? And he didn't see me? Because I don't think he saw me when he was there, since he was
Is
around the
that
corner.
is that an ability you have that you get advantage when they don't see you?
I don't know, I was just curious. Just trying
Might
to
have-
figure out how sneak attack and everything works.
Well, it's always this. You always get damage from it, but I don't remember, because I think you have to be an assassin in order to get that.
Okay.
Well, he said that he kills things, so what kind of a rogue is he if he doesn't?
I'm more of a thief, in all honesty.
¿Qué estás haciendo?
Alright, either way, I'll just try and shoot him.
Canzón.
That one.
Okay. You pointed to the one that Ari has hunters marked, right?
Yes.
20. Sorry, Warlock. There we go. That hits. Oh, that definitely hits. Ari, I'm sorry about this. Your first arrow hit as well. I thought his armor class was... Yeah. I don't know why I thought his armor class was 12. It's not.
Is 11?
That's another 13 points of piercing damage.
13. Yeah,
Oh my
okay.
God.
So with your crossbow bolt, retconning it, so you shot him twice and damaged him both times.
And the fella is within 25 feet. If he hasn't seen it, I think that is qualifies as a sneak attack.
He doesn't even need the sneak attack. Because he just falls over dead.
Ooh.
With a crossbow bolt sticking out of him.
You became a pincushion. To be more.
I'm gonna move right back where I was and hide. God damn it, really? My stealth rolls are shit for a fucking rogue.
You're stealthier as a ranger than you are a rogue. That's sad.
I'm stealthier as a damn fighter than a damn rogue.
That too. That too. Dothrock is up.
Alright. He's gonna come up. And he's gonna hold a bite action.
Okay.
Does he do?
Ivy?
Yes,
Yep.
it's my turn.
Yes, mother.
I don't distinguish when you end.
Unless your name has changed in the turn order, I think you're up.
Sweetie, look at the column.
Okay. Keep up with the... I have to move.
Oh, what are you doing, Lod?
I'm moving. But Fortnite is a very big guy.
Very what?
Uh,
Yeah, I think you are having internet issues because you were cutting it out pretty bad
It's
there.
digitizing big time.
See, my amor. What is it? Am I just in the middle of whatever you're planning to protect? Nope. Sound running out. Okay, she moves. Okay, you move there, and then what, sweetie?
I'm just asking if I can move here.
Well, that's a hole.
It's a giant hole in the ground.
Ah, okay. I didn't know
That's
that.
there's a hole, and there's the blood of the eggs.
I'll go ahead
Poor
and...
eggs. Can I move here?
You can move there, yeah.
And I'm gonna just shoot to this guy.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Sorry about my internet. It hasn't been well the last week. I got a cold.
Ooh,
Just barely hits.
yay!
Piercing damage.
Still
As-
enough to
Bit of a
qualify
distance,
for-
but you're able to just barely sink a shaft into his knee.
Okay.
Silence, your turn.
Alright. Well, I haven't been very lucky with it so far, but I think I'll try another Ray of Frost at the one straight to my right. I don't know
Okay.
how to do little boops on the map.
Just hold down
click
your
and hold.
cursor. Yeah, click and hold.
That one.
Okay, so that one over to your left. Okay. So, well, your left, page right. Okay. Go ahead and
Yeah.
roll. 26 hits.
Oof.
8 points of cold damage. As you summon another little bolt of snow and ice and just chuck it at it. Still reeling a little bit from the arrow that's currently in its knee. It strikes the fire newt straight in the chest, managing to damage it. Good.
Let's see. And I think I will move a little bit. Get behind our big, strong leader.
All right.
That'll be it for me.
Okay, it is now the Fire Newt's turn. This Fire Newt is going to go ahead and just post up, take the guard or the dodge action, ready to attack anyone that comes to him. This one is going to just run straight for Laud. He's going to go ahead and make 2 attacks with the scimitar.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
No, it's going to run up and just try and spit fire straight at you.
Oh,
Ooh.
Virgen
Roll a
Santa.
dexterity saving throw. And it would, in fact, it gets silence as well because it's a 10-foot range. Both of you go ahead and roll dexterity saving throws.
I didn't say.
Nope, that's a fail. And silence.
Dexterity, you said?
Yep, dex save. There you go. Okay, so that's 2 failures. So I need... Both take 5 points of fire damage.
My
As
goodness.
this giant...
I'm resistant to fire.
So you take 5 points of fire damage.
Oh.
As this big gush of fire just engulfs the 2 of you for a brief moment, as the Fire Newt just kind of pulls its head back and spits a little bit to get the flaming parts out of its mouth, readies itself for combat. This one has given up on trying to light the bridge on fire. He's going to go ahead and move up here. He's going to go ahead and check a firebolt at you, Laud, since you're closest.
Ay, Dios mío. They like blue people.
they hate it.
Actually, it hasn't used that ability yet. It's going to go ahead and Scorching Ray instead.
Ooh.
So I think at least 2 of those hit you, Laud.
Gosh.
11 hits you or not.
Eh, 16. What do I have to get? Dexterity check?
No, this is against your armor class.
Oh, my armor class is just 12.
So 2 of them hit. Okay. You take an additional 13 points of fire damage.
Holy moly.
As this armored individual has now crossed the bridge and just summons this gush of fire with its hand, throwing 3 bolts at you. One of them just goes wide and strikes off against one of the cavern walls. The other 2 managing to find their mark, slamming into you and burning you a bit.
What? Are you okay?
Do I look like I am okay?
You look singed.
I look blue and red.
Red is not your color.
Then I'm not okay.
Your turn.
Go ahead. And boom. Jump over the table.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay.
You're in heavy plate. Jumping is hard.
Oh, with disadvantage? Or because of the
Just a
enchantment?
straight roll. You're familiar enough with heavy plate that you know kind of how to jump, but jumping is still difficult. Okay, you do it with no issue.
Yeah.
We'll just get around the edge of it.
White men can jump. Boom!
4. Yep,
A hammer,
that's it.
and then a charge of thunder. Boom! Just to
Roll
have a
damage.
double boom. So that's hammer plus 1 to 6. 11 points.
11 points of damage. As you guys watch, his crackling warhammer just swings into the side. The Fire Newt does block it with the shield, but the energy, like the force behind the blow and the energy in the blow itself, still carries through. You hear a couple bones inside crack in his shoulder and possibly his collarbone area, as well as the electrical energy dissipating through his body with this like horrible shrieking noise. After that.
I'll move F-Seal on the table and send my faithful spiritual weapon to block this guy here so he doesn't get any opportunity.
Okay.
Spiritual. 13, I think that's a hit.
That is a hit.
7 for damage.
7 points of damage as it tries to, raising up its Morning Star, trying to deflect some of the blow. It does manage to push, it blocks some of it, but it pushes the Morning Star itself back into its body, denting a bit of the plate and almost cracking its ribs a bit.
Huh. That'll learn you.
Alright. That takes us to Ari.
Alright. She's gonna shoot the dude in front. Actually, no, she's not. She's going to... How far am I? Yeah, okay. She's gonna try to use Dissonant Whispers. Which is a Wisdom save of 13.
Okay. Let's see, the warrior... That's a fail.
No, I meant the big guy. Sorry, it wasn't clear.
Oh, the armored one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh!
Oh, okay. What?
Sir.
It was for Dissonant Whispers.
Okay. I don't remember what that spell does, honestly.
It's 3d6 psychic damage.
Oof.
Crap. Whispering a couple of arcane words underneath your breath, you watch as this armored individual just kind of starts like clawing at its armored head, almost as if it trying to just get this pain out of its skull.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why did it have to be Despacito?
Basically. Yep. For the record, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's my gunslinger name in online.
Oh no.
I've been my friends and I, we run around and because we're dickheads and we shoot everybody. So we all came up with gunslinger names for ourselves, and I like to joke around that El Despacito is riding again.
Oh god. And she'll go ahead and move Hunter's Mark over to him as well.
Well, actually, Ivy got me Red Dead Redemption 2 as well.
Mhm.
But I'm actually playing White Hat. Kind of.
Yeah,
Except the
no,
mission with Sean. I mean, Sean is crazy. He made me shoot up like half the town.
Yeah, no, I definitely did that as well. I've kind of stopped playing story mode because in every state, like collectively between the 3 states I have located, I have a bounty of about $1,000 now. So there's not a lot I can do without like, hey, we know you. I'm like, oh crap,
I'm not surprised.
and then the bounty goes up again. Or I think I sent you and Dustin both the Snapchat where I was petting the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
That was one of the
all
instances.
town, all across the town, just to get to pet the dog.
So yeah, I was at one of the ranches. I sent this video to Taylor and I sent it to Dustin, but I sat there and I was joking around that this was going to be the end game for me because I was just sitting there petting the dog. Shortly after I stopped petting the dog ran off to go chase some cattle, as cattle dogs do, and the dog got run over by a wagon.
Oh.
Oh.
Again, after those wagon drivers mysteriously got about 24 rounds of revolver ammo put into their body.
Oh.
He just suffers every time that one of the horses hit the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that is pretty normal. That is pretty normal.
Back then.
Because I was like going like super slow because you know that in the game like
Yeah.
people walk out of your way if you go slow in the horse, but not the dogs.
Yeah, no. See, I'm a dick. If anything, like, well, the animals, I feel bad about trampling over them, but if people get in my way and I happen to trample them with my horse a little bit and then they try to fight me about it, I just shoot them. Like,
Yeah,
There you go.
you shouldn't have gotten my way,
Then
my
why
way,
do I
man.
have a reward of over $1,000 of my...
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
exactly. How did I end up with this bounty again? I don't remember.
Yeah, I usually just go ahead and defuse them like, sorry man, it was my problem.
Yeah.
I'm El Canadiense.
And you're up.
Okay, be right back, guys.
Okay. All right, Joe.
I was moving. I'm gonna move down to here and shoot the armored one.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack.
Joe sounds pretty sleepy.
Oh no,
You
I'm
do
fine.
sound. Yeah, likely story.
No, I'm
I mean,
fine.
we do
I'm
stay
just
up till,
starting
like,
to get
3 on
pissed that I
Wednesday.
can't fucking roll for shit in this game. I mean, I'm seriously starting to get pissed.
Oh
I'm just
man.
throwing some.
Oh.
Yeah. Once again,
Hopefully-
firing off another quick
hopefully
crossbow
tomorrow
bolt,
night it
hearing
won't,
it jar off against the wall. As I'm assuming you're going back to hide again.
Oh yeah. Because it's the only thing I'm halfway good at, and even then.
All right, you feel pretty hidden.
Hopefully, Roll20 will be nice to Dark tomorrow.
Roll20 fucking hates me at this point, so.
Dothrock's turn.
All right. He's gonna go right there, and you know what? Fuck it. He's gonna jump on the table.
Okay. Easily done since he just flies up to it.
Yeah, he's just gonna wait to see if this thing comes within melee of him, and then he's gonna.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
So his turn's done.
Okay. I didn't end up run up the debugger of the page. There you go. Okay, so you failed. Rah.
What?
He failed his shot against the.
Oh, yeah.
What was he shooting? What was he shooting at?
Okay, so Dothrock's just gonna wait on the table, or
He's holding a bite action. Yeah. And then his turn's done.
1 second, I'm just pulling something up. To do this earlier. There we go. Mood music. Alright, so he's holding a bite action. Laud, it is your turn. As you have a fire newt right in front of you and a couple off in the distance.
Okay. I'm gonna shapeshift.
Okay, what are you turning into?
I'm thinking on a heat-resistant animal.
Or you just do something with a lot of bulk to it, so it doesn't even matter.
Any suggestions?
A bear.
Just a
bear-
giant.
Good old bear.
A grizzly bear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, a grizzly bear will be.
How do I turn the music down?
In the voice channel, right-click on Fredboat. You can adjust user volume.
I have it at like 3%.
Mine at 2.
Okay, I'm going to be a brown bear.
Boom. There's now a bear in this cave. Blue-skinned individual just turns into a giant mass of fur.
Rawr, 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 rawr.
Actually sounds like an alligator.
Great.
Oh, that's true. Then it's rawr, rawr, rawr.
There you
Now
go.
it sounds more like a
Ya te
bear.
entiende, mujeroso.
Although having lived underground all of your life, you're not really sure what this animal is since you've never seen a bear.
And I am just going to attack him physically.
Okay, go ahead and make some strikes.
Okay, so. Para.
No more
Multi-attack.
Mr. Nice. Yeah.
Bite,
No more Mr. Nice getting
which
us.
is Misses.
Misses.
It says melee weapon attack plus 5 to hit. So
D20 and add 5.
D20 and add 5. Okay. Roll 20 plus roll 20 más 5 más. Oof! Natural 20.
Roll 20. All right, go ahead and roll
Yes.
damage.
There you go.
So 1d8 plus 4 says piercing damage.
All right, go and roll your D8.
Oof. It's powerful.
Roll 1d8.
So one
It's
point
always
of
the same.
damage,
Plus how much?
2 for the
4.
crit. So 2 plus 4 is 6. You did 6 points of piercing damage to it.
And now I have both of my claws.
Right,
Wait,
So that
says
was the bite?
that was bite.
All right, go ahead and make your claw strikes now.
Shh.
Roll 1d20 plus 5, 2. What?
That does not hit.
Okay.
And the other claw?
No, it's just one, and if I hit, I just roll 2 d6.
So you do manage to latch onto its leg and kind of shake a little bit. It kind of screams out, being bitten by this weird furry creature. Before you let go and try to swipe at it with the claws, but this time it backs up and just brings the shield around to knock your claws away. Alright,
Okay.
Silence, you're up. As you have this giant, shaggy mass of fur and muscle right next to you. A dragon and a giant near you. The newt not too far. You can kind of see the others off in the distance.
I'll go ahead and cast magic missile. Do one at each of the 3 I can see. This guy, this guy, and this guy.
Okay, so 1d4 plus 1 to each guy. So I think on your character sheet it should just have the magic missile in the attacks.
I don't know why it did Ray of Frost, because I definitely clicked magic missile.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Apparently it doesn't like me. Alright, so 1... Oh, it moved.
Oh, there isn't a magic missile in...
It's in my spells. It's prepared.
Yeah, okay.
1d4 plus 1.
Ooh!
That's weird that it keeps doing it. Okay, so yeah, we'll ignore that for now. We'll figure that out at some point. Go ahead and you saw where to roll the dice earlier, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and just click the D4 3 times. Yep. So 2.
1d4 plus 1.
Damage.
I made 3 missiles, 1 at each of them.
Is it like the freezing version of Scorching Ray?
No, it just fired. You watch as these 3 little balls of bluish yellow light just spawn up from his hand, and one shoots off to each of the enemies in this chamber, slamming into him a little bit and doing a little bit of damage. The one right in front of Laud's bear form looks really rough, like it's barely standing up at this point. And the other 2 are not looking very good either. They're bleeding from multiple cuts. They seem to have some broken bones, but they're still fighting. So, any movement, Silence?
No.
It is now the Fire Newt's turn. Fire Newt right in front of Laud is going to go ahead and make 2 attacks with its scimitar. Hits. So you take
To me?
To the bear.
Yes.
Bear. Yeah.
L11 armor class.
One of them hits. You take 7 points of slashing damage in bear form.
Okay.
This one over here is just going to move right around your spiritual weapon because it doesn't occupy space. Now that it's closer... Where is it? Head and cast Flaming Sphere.
At that distance?
Ooh.
Cast it right behind you. Dothrock as well.
Oh.
Let me see. Yeah, it's not gonna get... Yeah, it's gonna do it a little weird.
Doesn't that give me, like, attack of opportunity?
Your area, and your spiritual weapon does not occupy space, so it doesn't get attacks of opportunity.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I'm right.
In your space, so he's not moving away from you.
All right, it's like right. In fifth, everybody has like battle cast.
The hell is it? It should be right here. Can't remember my own spells, I'm awful. Flaming Sphere. So, 5-foot diameter sphere appears in an unoccupied space.
Appears here, but it goes right into the well.
Well, I mean, it's just there.
You're not moving it?
I haven't dropped it in yet. A flaming cube.
Flaming cube.
I thought it was a sphere.
It's a new spell.
Yeah, it's a sphere. But you guys watch as this sphere just appears in between all of these people of them and doesn't seem to move.
There you go. There's a sphere.
Yep, it's just there.
Perfect.
It's gonna move around here and it finds you, Felon. And it's gonna go ahead and make 2 scimitar attacks as well. Actually, yeah, it's gonna make 2 scimitar attacks.
Ooh.
I am assuming the 9 misses. Does the 17 hit?
Yes.
Take 5 points of slashing damage as this fire newt has moved up. He is going to go ahead and back up out of that space, and you will get an attack of opportunity.
Oh,
You do hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 10. And as he backs up, you stab him right where you imagine his heart is, and he falls over to the ground dead. As he hits the ground beneath him completely caves in, revealing with eggs. Seems that whatever it seems that these lizard people, or these fire newts, are able to walk over the pits where their offspring are, having been aware of where they are and how to walk across them. So they're not hindered by that movement, while you guys are. But that is the end of their turn. Forno, you're up, as you have this fire sphere right behind you.
okay. Well, I guess if I kill this guy, his concentration ends, so guiding bolt to this guy.
Okay, which I'm pretty sure at that range you're going to be at disadvantage because it's a ranged attack.
Disadvantage? Oh. And I guess Toll the Dead it is.
Alright. Wisdom save.
Ooh.
That's a miss.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll 2d12. Don't roll it using your actual spell thing. Go ahead and just roll manual 2d12.
Ooh, 20.
Oh yeah, no. You watch as his head just starts bleeding profusely out of where you imagine his ear holes are.
Mm-hmm.
Of what could be brain matter as he just falls over to the ground dead.
And
Hey.
because for the sphere, fizzles, I guess. Is that correct?
It does.
Okay, 10 feet. And wow, let's whack this guy.
All right.
Spiritual.
That just barely hits. So I was gonna say no matter what, I think he was gonna win because I think he rolled two. No, it's 1d8. Yeah, no matter what, he was gonna die because he had 2 health left. With just this sickening crunch, you watch as the anvil comes down and squishes this last fire newt.
Ooh. Sorry, I got a little bit sick. Carried away.
As the calm from battle is over all of you, looking down and seeing the crunched and shot and just mangled bodies of these fire newts, and realizing that a couple of them seem to have gotten away from how many you thought were in the chamber.
Okay. We should probably go across the bridge over there since that other one was that way.
But are we gonna like just step on the eggs on the way to whatever they are?
I mean, they're in pits.
Felon, would you do the honors, please?
I will try. I make no
As you
promises.
lead the way, heading towards the back of the chamber, go ahead and roll an investigation check, Felon.
Of
Hey.
course, now.
Hey!
With almost now that you've seen what these pits look like, having killed a fire newt and then watching his corpse fall through the ground, you know what to spot for, and you very easily are able to identify. Or getting this is because you rolled a natural 20. Hold on, I gotta make sure I got the entire map. No, still not all of them. Damn
By
it.
the way, should we kill all those like eggs that we see?
I feel like they'll just die anyway.
You managed to successfully identify where every single pit in this cavern is as you lead your party through the area across these wooden bridges that seem pretty sturdy, but one of them has a couple scorch marks from where it was trying to be lit on fire. The water passing through this cavern, by the way, as you guys cross over this bridge, is near scalding hot. It kind of reminds you guys of your time in the bathhouses. It seems like this is a pretty natural hot spring, and it's a very warm hot spring.
Okay, let's go. Nice.
So, as you lead them through the back of the tunnel or back of the cavern, finding what appears to be the main exit from this area, you are greeted with what appears to be, if I can get over to the right tab again, on my GM layer, and it's wonderful, but
Space.
you are greeted with a tunnel that about 10 feet in is just blocked off by a molten waterfall of lava.
Oh. Cool.
Okay. Any other riddles?
Felon, looking around, since you already rolled a natural 20, you are able to see that there looks like a side tunnel over here to your right from the main entrance.
Ooh,
From the
that
main
was
exit,
a
anyway.
natural 20 just in time, dude.
Yep. So this exit over here appears to be a tunnel, not have lava in it. So, do you guys head through?
Man.
Yes.
Heading in, you... Sorry, where the hell are my notes?
Should we go through a little more cautiously?
Yeah.
I would prefer to.
Stealth checks from everybody then, if you're going in a little more stealthy.
Let's see how good I do with this.
I'm gonna mess you up. I'm gonna mess up.
It's opposite of the other game. My Wednesday game, all my stat checks were crap, but all my attacks were great.
Yeah, it's Dark's best feature.
So I'm literally useless for nothing but shooting stuff.
I mean, that's pretty useful.
Yeah, I know. That's like I said. That's about his
Especially-
only good part.
Especially at level 13.
For no lot, I need stealth checks from you guys.
Okay.
Still, time. Not gonna be foolish.
Hold on a second. Stealth.
You guys are feeling pretty stealthy. As you begin heading down this side tunnel, going through about 150 feet in, Felon, are you still leading the way?
Sure, checking for traps as I go.
Make another investigation check. Okay. You feel pretty confident in your ability that to detect any traps ahead of you. About 150 feet in, you come across what appears to be a giant pile of rubble. Enough that it is in fact blocking the way forward in this tunnel.
Ugh.
Great. Had a spell for
I don't dig well.
stone shape.
Shit, if you have stone shape.
Yeah, I do. Stone shape.
You casting stone shape?
Yeah, I think I can like cast stone shape just to move around and stuff, right?
Oh, let me pull up the... What level spell is that?
4th.
Oh, burning a big one.
Yep.
Okay, you would know before casting it that there are limits to that spell.
Yeah, I can make a small passage through a wall, but that's pretty much it.
Or a section of stone no more than 5 feet in dimension, and as you kind of check on this piece of rubble blocking this way, it's bigger than 5 feet.
Yeah.
However, as you're checking it, you are able to feel a slight breeze coming through the cracks in the rubble. You get the sense that this isn't like a big obstruction, and could probably be either smashed through or moved.
Okay, let's try and move it. Nice.
An athletics check.
Can Dothor help him?
I'll say yes. Go ahead.
Cool.
Roll another one, Forno. You have advantage.
Thank you.
Still 19. Takes about 15, 20 minutes, going on 30, but with Dothrok's help, you're able to start getting the bigger pieces of rubble moved out of the way. Enough that you, as the biggest member of the party, are able to get through, so the smaller members should be pretty easy to get through as well.
Okay.
But the party continues. The party continues to advance through the tunnel, eventually entering into another large open chamber. See, right in front of you is a cobblestone walkway. It heads straight in front of you about 30 feet, widening out to about 10 feet in length or in width, to two different rows, one on each side of the walkway, of fire newt statues. Each other, similar to how statues are kind of guard like walkways to temples and palaces and stuff. Just kind of standing guard over that. Leads up to this massive 4-columned temple with no kind of iconography on the front. It's a little hard to tell what this temple was made out to, at least from this point. Off far to the left of the temple, against the cavern wall, another tunnel and exit.
So that's where the waterfall led to, right?
You don't know.
Do I see tracks? Like drag tracks?
Go ahead and roll a survival check.
Alright.
$13. No, you do not see any.
Okay.
The last point you remember seeing him was that area with the pits.
Okay. Huh. Hmm. And you said that we're still in front of this bridge and haven't gone over it?
It's just a pathway. Like there's regular, like just stone floor from the cavern, and then there's a cobblestone walkway that leads straight up to this temple. And then
Alright.
like outside of the temple, on the cavern wall, is just another exit off in the distance.
Okay. I feel like we need to check out this temple. I got singed last time, though. She's just gonna, like, poke a cobblestone with her toe.
You poke the cobblestone with your toe, and nothing happens.
I could lead the way with being fire resistant.
That sounds like a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
But you're being hurt, right?
Just a little.
Yeah, we're alright.
Let me try to help you.
Cautiously start heading down the cobblestone path.
Fuck.
As you begin to walk, you feel slightly better as the massive gauntleted hand of Forno touches you on the shoulder and just puts a little bit of healing energy into you.
Thank you.
As you walk onto the cobblestone pathway, nothing seems to happen. You're just on this walkway. The rows of fire newt statues don't seem to react in any way like they did at the other chasm. They just seem to be standing guard. The temple, you do see above the main door of the temple. There is no actual door to this. It's just another doorway. Interior. It's a little hard to see at the moment. But above the doorway are some more runes carved into it, similar to how the gateway in the chasm did. Forno, as you begin to approach as well, having seen that Silence was able to make this approach without any issue. Once again, a ignin above the door that says, "May all who come bask in his warmth and knowledge." Sorry, no, not an ignin. Never mind. You guys don't understand that. Silence is the only one that understands that because he reads it in completely different language.
All right.
That I happen to know he's fluent in.
Wink,
So
wink.
I tell everybody what it says.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man.
Is anyone here fluent in Infernal other than Silence?
I do have comprehend languages.
Yeah, but you haven't used it yet, so you don't know yet. And if he's going to tell you,
Mm-mm.
he tells you that it's written in Infernal. Yeah, he tells you it's written in Infernal. Oh.
Right. Bask. So probably we're gonna be like showered.
Or we just lay down.
What a baskis.
Basking.
Bask is like laying down and like soaking in something, like a lizard's bask in the sun. Like they soak up the sun.
Basically, hot stuff's gonna fall on us if we do. That's
You don't know that.
translation.
You do not know that.
That's
You
not what
pessimist.
basking is.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm going to the
Is.
bathroom.
Can also mean to just lay in and enjoy.
Yeah, I bask in the sun.
In the metaphorical sense, basking in knowledge, enjoying the fact that there's a lot of smart things going on around you.
Bask in the glory.
Glory,
No.
that's definitely a thing.
Yeah. Ari's gonna find a place to lay down, just to see what happens.
So you guys are just outside. You're not going inside.
Oh no, she's going inside.
Well, I need to know that.
Oh.
As you guys,
Okay.
because yeah, that's written on the outside. As you guys enter into this doorway, you're kind of greeted with a weird sight. This temple, it is old. It mostly made out of cobblestone and pieces of granite, nicely carved granite. Entire temple area, all of the walls are lined with what look like they were once bookshelves, but you're not sure how long ago. At some point, it looks like they were burnt out, and in fact, these bookshelves appear to be piles of ashes and the remains of books that looked like they were burned for the most part. And throughout this whole area, there were also different kinds of prayer mats where one would possibly sit to perform some kind of prayer to something. But that's not what catches your eye. Like, you kind of see all of this, but the main feature of this temple is in the center of this temple. And in fact, it is a massive 15-foot statue of an individual, humanoid, appears to be male, wearing flowing robes, carrying in his left hand a quarterstaff, and pointing direction what appears to be the where the tunnel exit had been outside of the temple. And in his right hand has it just opened straight in front of him. A large, kind of reddish amber colored gemstone. And as you guys kind of approach it, you're able to see that the gemstone is in fact pulsing with energy. It's not radiating outward or anything, but the light inside of it is kind of just gently pulsing. To take on almost like the glow of firelight as you're kind of catching it. But as you look up and continue examining the statue, something pretty obvious pretty quickly notices this, at least. The statue is of a tiefling very similar to Silence.
Oh dear.
Oh. She's like looking back and forth.
Silence, you
like
notice that everyone's kind of
sacrifices.
Yeah, Silence, you notice everyone's kind of staring at you funny. Hi.
Are we like your sacrifices, dude? After all we've been through?
I've never seen this place.
Oh, this place obviously has seen you.
Can I like see if he's telling the truth?
I mean, are you asking if you believe him?
Yes.
Check. Okay, give me a second.
Yep.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't even want to roll.
Where the heck is... There it is. Okay. You guys have your answers.
Thank you very much.
Huh. Weird. I guess they like you. I feel like they shouldn't have attacked you if they like you.
Ari, go ahead and roll a survival check, real quick.
Alright.
Go ahead and roll a history check at disadvantage.
Me also roll a history check at disadvantage?
Silence. Silence
Okay,
needs to
sorry.
roll history at disadvantage.
Sorry. Sometimes when you talk, the names get cut out, so I just hear roll at disadvantage, and I'm like,
Yeah, I need to get a new mic, honestly.
It might also
Or
be the
better.
voice activation, because it's like when you first start talking, it cuts out the first second or so.
Oh, well, that's useful. All right.
right?
If you listen to the recordings, you'll see what we're talking about. It does it quite often.
No.
Sometimes it'll
Okay.
cut out in the middle, though, too.
Yeah,
Thing
more-
in
more
particular, this temple seems really old. It's hard to tell how often it's used, though. Just seems old in general. you don't remember this ever being here. Any of this temple, this statue, anything like that. There's this just vague whisper. But I'm gonna send you something.
I'm back.
Welcome back, sweetie.
Thank you.
So she's missed like everything. Okay.
Don't worry, I'll just update her on Facebook.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
I think I remember a long time ago saving some of these creatures, but I don't really remember it very well.
Oh, okay. That would make sense, I suppose. But, still gotta find those. Maybe they're all dead. Maybe they were sacrificed to you or some shit.
Can we investigate around the statue more?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check. If anyone else wants to do it, you can make a separate roll, or someone can assist him.
I'll
I'll
assist him.
assist him.
Oh, okay.
One of us.
So Silence, go ahead and roll with advantage then, as they assist you. 24. You start checking around the area around the statue, and pretty quickly you find there's something underneath the base of the statue. The statue itself is really, really heavy, and you're not capable of moving it by yourself. You might if everyone was to help you, but it's extremely heavy, so it might take a lot of effort. But kind of glancing at the edges, just trying to get enough of a peek to figure out what it is, it looks like there's some kind of trap door underneath the statue itself.
Can we look for like a lever or a button to see if there's anything that can move it mechanically?
You rolled pretty high. Glancing around, it's a lever or button. You do sense, with your attunement to the arcane arts, some kind of tie between the the statue base itself over this trapdoor and the gem that's resting in its hand.
Does somebody want to try to get the gem?
Well-
You want to take the gem?
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly not for us to take. Someone who should be safe. Take it with you because it's supposed to be yours, right?
I guess I'll try to climb up and get the gem.
I just mean, like in all the kids' stories, it's like, touch the gem, bad things happen.
It's pretty easy to climb up. The statue has a pretty big base, so you're able to get up there just holding onto the statue's arms. You reach over, you touch the gem. You are able to lift the gem off there. As you lift the gem from the palm, it rings out strongly in your mind.
Apparently, my name used to be Exilian decades ago.
That's a lot better name.
Uh-huh.
Well, you should start with that, Exilium. I like it.
As you continue lifting the gem and just holding it and glancing into this just patch, you're looking into the facets of this and watching as this flickering firelight seems to pass around in the interior of this gem. Throughout the temple, grinding stones, slippery noise of magma being poured into the chamber.
Okay.
Doing this, still holding the gem while holding onto the statue. The statue base itself slowly starts grinding back as well, revealing, in fact, a 4x4 trapdoor beneath the statue base.
Guys, I think the room is kind of
Alright.
telling us to, like, pretty much the only way out, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. As you go to check the trapdoor, it's locked.
Pick the lock.
Go ahead and roll a Thieves' Tool check. As the lava continues to pour in, filling through the ground, slowly covering what little walk area there is. Starts to encroach closer and closer. You hear a chick as he quickly picks the lock, throws the trapdoor open, and ushers everybody inside.
Oh,
Alright. Everybody go.
let's go, let's go, let's go.
Managing to get everybody inside the trapdoor very quickly due to your high roll. Closing the trapdoor behind you, you hear just this hissing noise, and you try to move the trapdoor slightly. It seems like it's firmly lodged in place and sealed. Seems like you're safe from the magma for now.
Yeah. But like we're locked in, whatever this is.
Yep, so now the 5 of you are, well, 6 of you, I guess, are in this tunnel with Silence still just holding this glowing amber red rock.
Okay. So, where to, Exilian?
Do I have any more visions from this rock?
Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw. You do not.
Not really sure where to go.
Oh,
Just,
I don't
great.
remember ever being down here.
just walk, I guess.
So you know how to get into...
No going backwards.
Where's there?
Alright, so you guys are continuing to the tunnel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So we don't have a choice.
Tunnel continues downwards a little bit. As you continue going downwards, it starts getting hotter and hotter, and the smell of sulfur is very strong in the air. Eventually, the tunnel once again curves to the left, sloping downwards a little bit, and as it finishes the curve, it goes down another 30 feet. At the bottom of where this, you're able to see a bright orange glow coming from the entrance to the cavern, into the tunnel from this cavern that you're being led into. That guy needs to be there. You guys, because you managed to get in the back way, have now emerged. Corner.
Okay. Whew. Maybe a little bit up our pay grade.
Okay.
For now, there are plenty of jagged rocks kind of covering this entrance to the cavern itself. What you're seeing, there is about 20-ish feet ahead of you, a fire newt just kind of looking around, standing, looking straight into the center of this chamber. Across the chamber is a massive group of fire newts that seem to all be ready and waiting in battle. It seems like your presence was definitely alerted to them via the runners that made it away from you. And we're about to call it here. Don't worry. Just wanted to give this description first.
Oh, of course.
It's off to your left, another kind of lava passageway, cool hardened lava passageway, where 2 more seem to be standing guard. At the center of this main chamber is a 15-foot tall individual, red-skinned, wearing nothing but a kind of loincloth and belt combo, carrying a massive 2-handed, single-edged saber in one hand, and on his left wearing what appears to be kind of a blackened, almost a gauntlet, but not quite, more like just a lightly armored glove. At the base of his feet are 2 of the what appear to be the scouts, just in the similar Western scout armor and cloak. Their hands and feet not quite tied together, but instead bound by black rock, sealed up as kind of restraints for them. We're gonna leave off.
Okay.
Since it is you're right, it is close to midnight for most people.
Yep.
Most of us.
Yeah, and we have to get up early tomorrow.
Might make it to the end of this. This was the last part, but this is the part that was going to take a while.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind finishing this fight like next week.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dustin's going to be able to next week. Can you?
Justin?
Let me try to pull up my schedule real quick. I'm on rotating shift, so I don't remember what I work. Just a second.
If not, we could always finish it some other time.
Yeah.
What day is it even? 15th?
Second.
22nd. I will be off.
Here you go.
So I can probably play. I'll be rolling off of nights on today's, so.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I think-
All right.
Nice.
That way I don't have to RP you to finish it out.
There you go.
yeah, let's not Jaeger this.
Didn't have to Jaeger silence for the end.
Sounds
There we
good.
go.
But all right,
I will end
the
recording here.
restart. Yeah, I know this wasn't the restart that was originally promised, but I hope everyone still had fun.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
fun.
Oh,
I hope
Good to get back into these characters.
wonderful rules. Dustin, I hope you had a good first time.
I don't even know who I am.
You don't. You literally do not. You're the one that told me you were mildly insane, man.